Welcome to the Year of Shame Tree, Episode 5. Okay, I am your host with the most popular man on the internet, the biggest failure of the team, Colm. How's it going? And I am joined by the likely threesome of Howard. Howard? No.
Total step into that guy.
Have you been on the sauce already?
I thought you said you weren't doing a fancy
It's a segue. It's a Welsh segue. It's going.
I am joined by my lovely threesome. No, that's wrong.
Why did you just go and go? I'm joined by my three amigos. My three amigos. Blah 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 blah.
I am joined. Okay, I am joined as usual by my lovely threesome of hating.
You're meant to turn around. No, what you say is I'm joined.
Off.
Just go. I'm joined
by
my three
and
amigos,
as usual,
as well as these three mugs.
Perfect.
I'm going to be sober at this rate in a minute.
I am Okay, here we go. I am joined, as usual, this month by my 5 amiibos, plus my 3 other mates, as they would call themselves. Matt, I'm not Welsh.
It's still not Welsh.
Good. Connor, I look like Doctor Who. How's it going, Connor?
Evening.
And Stuart, the babby of
Babby
the family.
Warmonger, we're all good.
Cullen.
Fantastic.
How is it going, lads?
All good, young man.
You're good.
It hasn't been a month of controversy and bitching sessions. It's just living the dream, lads. We are living the dream.
We are almost a popular podcast.
Okay, so we'll get straight into it, because there's lots to get through this month. Connor, what have you been playing?
I've had quite a busy month. When I first started writing this, I didn't think I'd played much, but I started the month off by playing Race the Sun, which I got with PlayStation Plus on PS4 and Vita. It's quite nice. It's a bit of an endless runner, and after last month's tirade on Run Sackboy Run, I played enough of it to go, yeah, I'm not going down this rabbit hole again. It plays quite well, looks quite nice. I did my annual Star Wars pinball session on May the 4th, and then continued it on Revenge of the 5th, which was quite nice. Did a live stream of it, managed to set some higher scores. What else have I played? Unity, I finally finished that. I've got my platinum. I am never talking about it again, probably until I play the Lost Kings DLC. But for now, yeah, it's done. I've got the platinum. Enough said, move on. And Destiny House of Wolves, the DLC for that, because my last game I bought before I started my Year of Shame was Destiny with the Season Pass. So the latest DLC for that has dropped. I played about 3 hours of it. I'm still a bit meh on Destiny. It's still a bit too grindy for my liking. And I am currently fully 100% addicted to Nom Nom Galaxy. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. A lot of people are calling it a Terraria clone, which I've never played that, so I can't really compare it. I've seen my nephews play that, and they seem to be really, really engaged by it. You basically play a robot who has to set up the universe's best soup company, and you have to farm ingredients, put them into wonderful soups, stick them in a rocket, and send them off to the adoring public. And it's kind of a bit of an explore 'em up. You've got a bit of beat 'em up to it, and you've got lots of making of weird and wonderful soups. And it's fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm fairly close to finishing the story. Every time I keep saying that, it opens another level up. So hopefully I am only 2 from the end of it. But I'm loving it. It's been a game I was looking forward to when I saw it was revealed for for PC, but wasn't expecting to get a review copy of it, and was very pleased when I did, because it's fabulous. And that's me.
Sounds as eccentric as your taste in clothes. And so, Connor, how many hours did you put into AC Unity? I know you didn't want to talk about it again, but you know.
Oh God, I don't know. Too many hours running around picking locks and opening doors and picking more locks and managed to get some of the co-op done on it there. I did the ones that were going to be the problem with the online trophies, but managed to find some randoms to play with, so got a fair bit done on that. Just give us a second, the missus seems to be destroying the kitchen.
Yeah, my missus calls that cooking.
Brilliant.
it seems to have quietened down a bit. Then again. So I managed to play online, so ended up jumping in with some randoms and playing the co-op. The co-op's quite nice, except it's buggy as the rest of the game is. There's lots of points where bad guys that you were supposed to be targeting and taking out weren't there, and all that was there was a marker. I had points where I kept breaking the game. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm done with it, at least for now, until I can be asked to touch the DLC. It's not a bad game. I reviewed it on Joypad and Me on the last podcast for them, so if people are that interested to hear me moan a bit more about AC Unity, they can go and have a listen there. I did put a hell of a lot of hours into it. I think I probably put about 40 odd into Black Flag, which I liked a lot more than this, and I've probably put about the same in.
Right, yeah, fair enough. So it's not your favourite, it's not your most favourite.
No, Black Flag for me is still my favourite of the Assassin's Creed, even though it's not really an Assassin's Creed game as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you, Connor. Swiftly moving on to me, because it's all about me. Completed. As we know, completed Deadlight, excellent game. Dustin Elysium's Tale, which was a side-scrolling sort of. It's a good game. It's a lovely game.
Is it not Metroidvania?
Yeah, thank you, Metrovania. Yeah, thank you, Stuart. Because I haven't a clue what I'm talking about.
Somebody knows something about something.
I haven't a clue what I'm talking about sometimes. Most of the time. But I put about 16 hours into that game because I just went wandering as usual. Then I got back into Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, finished that on my 3DS. First time to finish a Zelda game ever. And with that then I went...
Oh, nicely done.
What?
Nicely done. That's impressive.
Well, I didn't start it this month and finish it this month, for fuck's sake. So started it the last 2 years or something. But anyway.
8 years in the making.
And then...
he said actually 12 horses in it, because the horse died the first time. It's been going that long, the horses have just been dying in old age.
Put out the field. And currently still playing The Order. Went back then onto Wind Waker HD, which I'm loving, and I played some Mario Kart 8 online, which bit of crack. Still haven't got around to chatting to my friends on Xbox One, because my son currently has my Xbox One in his room, because he wants his other Xbox One is downstairs, so there you go. So that was me. Short and sweet. Stuart, what have you been up to?
Starting fights, always the starting of fights.
Good lad.
Aye. Starting fights with the Blood Heritage of the Year of Shame. What do you call it?
Fraternity.
That's it. All decrepit, boring bastard. I mean, fantastic guys. You're a bunch of guys. Oh, what a group. Fucking arseholes.
At least I don't have to beat them out this month, so that's a good thing.
Oh,
so curse away
that's
there,
true. That's true.
young man.
I mean? Yeah. So playing games, the video of the games, Connor managed to hook me up with a game called Gun City, which was... No, he didn't. Fuck that.
No, I didn't. I didn't do it. Nothing to do with me.
He's taking the piss out of me from last month.
I'm not the most popular man on the internet.
I know. The most popular man on the internet came through, and Colm got me a review copy of Tower of Guns for the Year of Shame 3. So sit down and we'll have a wee review, speak about it. basically it's a procedurally generated game that takes place in a tower. There's 7 floors. Each floor basically is made up of 4 or 5 rooms. You get into the 5th room, there's a boss fight. Boss fights are varied, but they generally tend to respawn after the 5th or 6th time. It's very Quake-like, very fast, good movement. Gun selection, you pick one gun, you go through it with the one gun, you can't change it up. But you can power the gun up and stuff like that. Really enjoyable. I played it in between games, as it's that kind of game. I think if you sat and played it solid, you probably get about a day and a half's fun at it. But if you're going to play it bitsy, you'll get about a month's entertainment out of it. Pretty much real enjoyable, just nice and different. Good, different to be fighting. You don't fight bots, you fight guns and stuff. Funny enough. Oh, tower of guns. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I hope that the company that Colm was talking to is now happy with the inclusive review we've done, and it only cost them 2 review codes.
That's Derek.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And thanks very much. Moving on. I finally finished The Wolf Amongst Us. Telltale game, engine shite, freezes every 5 minutes. Jittery framework, this is all known. But as for the actual game, i.e. the story, excellent, really enjoyed it. Really liked the kind of narrative and stuff. It was my first intro into the Fable. I knew Fables existed, but this is my first outing in the Fables world and the kind of narrative stuff in it. Really enjoyed it, really good. And that was one that the public picked for me to play, so I finally, over the space of 2 months, got my finger out and actually finished it. So, fantastical. The other thing I did this month, which was kind of what I wanted to do and was overdue, was I finished Halo Combat Evolved 2, 3 and 4 on Legendary, which took me about 5 days, give or take, and I get stuck head first into the Master Chief Collection, so I'm just over 70% of the achievements in it, and I think there's like 5,000 achievements in it, so I'm gunning pretty hard at that, plus with the news that ODST is getting released on Friday, I'll be diving head first into ODST as well on Legendary. So I'm definitely feeling the Halo fever. It's burning bright, as they say. So enjoyed doing that. Did a fair bit in co-op as well with my mate Savage Wolf. So and played with Wally and the boys, and we enjoyed that. So there's still a lot to be played.
Is it no longer broken then?
Online's campaign stuff's all right. Although what you'll find is each game is temperamental in its own way. So Halo 3 and 4 generally work 99% of the time. Halo 2 is a wee bit flaky, and Halo 1 is the flakiest out of all of them. But that's because all 4 games use their own separate netcode. So technically, it's like technically you're playing each game is actually an individual game. That's the kicker. So it's all held together with this framework, but technically each single game is a different game, and it's very point and reaction. We tried to get into Halo 2 sometimes, and it kept saying no chance, and then we went, oh, let's try something in Spartan Ops, and we went to Halo 4, and it loaded up instantly. It's kind of like so.
That sounds like a serious clusterfuck.
It's like, yeah, but if you dig deeper on that actual, like, 343 admit that it was like a kick in the nuts and stuff, but there's a kind of conspiracy going around with the fans saying that because Master Chief Collection is all encompassing, basically, the edition, because if it was the one-hit stop shop, they feel that people would maybe no embrace Halo 5 as much, so they're feeling that maybe the Master Chief Collection was always set up to be a bit janky, if you know what I mean. Because although it was there to sell consoles, if you were playing Halo 4, if you're playing Master Chief Collection online, you've got every Halo map that's ever existed to date, technically. So why would you have to go and buy the new version if you've got every single Halo map and it's running smooth and everything? You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense. But that's just a conspiracy theory amongst the fan base. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Online's pretty good as well, man. I played that new and again. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. That's the short of it. So, but none of you will play that, will you?
Does it look lovely?
Nope.
3 has not had a facelift. 4 is a nice looking game anyway. It doesn't need a facelift. Anniversary looks alright, and 2 is pretty decent. The cutscenes in 2 are amazing. I kind of like the retelling the story as well, because to tie it in with Halo 5, there's an additional cutscene at the start and the end. And at the start, it's him and Locke. Locke talks to the Arbiter. And if you played through Halo 1, you played through Halo 2 10 years ago, you played through it and you went, this is great. Well, this one, at the beginning, Locke's talking to the Arbiter, and it's basically as if the Arbiter's retelling the events of Halo 2 to Locke. So it's kind of like, although you've played through them, this is a retelling, technically, obviously that character telling the other character the actual what happened, you know. So it's fan service at the end of the day. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things, but to fans it's kind of like, yay! But that's because we're fans and stuff like that. So Halo, thumbs up as always. And the last thing I played was the game that ate the last of my credit. Nom, nom, nom. I got Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. 6 hours. Smear Wolfenstein. It's 2 DLC packs put together. You can tell it's 2 DLC packs put together. It's not got the story beats that the main game had, but it's still enjoyable. If you enjoyed the first game, you should really play it. If you've not played the first game, you should play The Old Blood then the first game, because The Old Blood falls right into the first game, and it's really well at tying it in. There's some really funny one-liners in it, as is always the way, and it is just more Wolfenstein. So if you like Wolfenstein, yay, giddy, yay. If you don't like Wolfenstein, or you do not like shooting Nazis because there's something wrong with you, then maybe stay away from it. But other than that, that was pretty much my month I have played so far to date.
Is it long? Is it long game? Is it like?
Well, it's about 6 hours, give or take.
Right.
It's not.
Did you get it? Did you download it?
Yeah. I didn't buy it. I used that. I used the last of my credit. I think it was £12. So
if you had the other one, that they were giving special deals on.
I think that's why I got a discount on the digital copy, because I've got the disc copy. But when I went in, I think it was meant to retail at £15, but I got it for 12. So it was kind of like, I think there's like £2 something 90 left in my account. So that's like dregs, and there ain't nothing going to be able to be bought for that, you know. Yeah, that's the end of that, so there won't be any more digital purchases this year, as far as I understand. Woohoo! But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's nice, short and sweet, and it's probably something that needed to come out. It came out at the right time, because there's fuck all happening out there in the world, you know what I mean? It's either, well, as we'll come on later on, you're either driving, or you're pretending you're a Polish RPG fan, you know what I mean? So definitely worth a look if you're looking for something to shoot.
Cool. Thank you, Stuart. Did you play any Battlefield?
My competition arrived, and I did get premium, so I've got premium there for that and that. But I also gave the copy of the game to Savage Wolf, so me and him got a couple of games at it and stuff. So, not as much as what I'd like, because I was playing Halo. I put a lot of time into Halo this month. So Battlefield first DLC's been announced, so that's obviously with the premium pack. That's getting downloaded for free because it's part of the prize, blah blah blah. So probably once the first DLC comes out, I will play it a bit more and get a bit more excited about it. I'd be like, yay, Battlefield, more Battlefield, always a good thing. I also hit my milestone. I'm 10,000 achievements after my 200,000 G, which is
excellent,
pretty fast.
Pretty good.
Hopefully.
All you young people. Okay, thank you, Stuart. Matt, what have you been up to?
Every month, as I think I've explained on previous episodes, I tend to stare at the pile, freeze, look at it for hours, and then turn a PC off or whatever and do something else. So every month I have to come up with some scheme to work out what I'm going to play. So this month I looked at the pile, and according to the How Long to Beat website, the game on the pile that would take the least time to complete was one called Don't Move on the PC. Don't remember buying it, don't remember anything about it. So boot it up. It's an 8-bit pixel art looking game. You're a ninja in the middle of a corridor, and you move to the left and you explode. And then you move slightly to the right and you explode. And then that goes on for a little while. Couldn't quite work out what I was doing wrong. And you keep walking and exploding and walking and exploding. And then eventually a new mechanic will open. For example, coins might drop on the ground or something like that. So you persevere, and as you've collected the correct number of coins, another mechanic will open up. And it kind of reminded me of Fez, in that, not in the gameplay as such, but there was lots of puzzles where it was never clear exactly what you were supposed to be doing. So I played that for about half an hour until I got completely stuck, looked on the internet, that revealed the rest of what I needed to do, and that was that. Could I call it a game? Not really. It took me 3/4 of an hour. It was an experience, but it's done now. It's off the list. That's all that matters. So then, looking at the consoles, decided of all the games I've started on the 360, alphabetically, I'd go for the one that I started and never finished. So I went back to Crysis, which, even on the 360, is a fantastic looking game. It
is really
it is
nice.
Gorgeous.
It's very pretty.
Parts of it, I think when I began, I quite enjoyed it, and then slowly but surely got bored of it. Lack of variety of the weapons. For obviously when the game boots up and you see this trailer and you look like some kind of super soldier, and yet I felt quite fragile, to be honest. And you have that super run, but you don't run because then you'll run into a bunch of troops and be mowed down. So it was such a slow game of cloaking, going forward, oh, there's nobody here, cloaking again, going forward, and so on. And by the end of it, I was just glad to see the back of it. But it, I mean, I wouldn't say I disliked it, but it did nothing for me. It went off the hard drive, never to be touched again.
For me, I got stuck and left it for about a year and then came back to it prior to doing my Year of Shame. And there's a point in the game where it reveals something, because I played Crysis 2 and 3, 2 before I'd finished 1. So I went back and finished 1. And there's a part in the game where you end up inside the alien thing. And that, for me, I thought was quite good and changed the game up a little bit. But I know exactly what you mean about you walk a couple of paces, and then you're like, there's no one around. Excellent. I'll walk a couple more paces. Yeah. And then you think, I'll try and leg it. Yeah, you do. Big tank, blow you up, dead.
Yeah, precisely. It just...
And the checkpointing's a bit poor in parts as well.
I remember getting stuck at places where I was low on ammo, and just, for such a big, expansive world, it felt such a limited game. So, but it was done. I mean, I don't know how far you got, but there's a section on... Spoilers for such an old game. But there's a section where you go into a cave, for example, and you can float. And that section just... Oh,
yes, that's the bit I'm inferring to.
I just wanted that to end. And it didn't. So anyway, that game's done. Went back to The Last of Us, which is a game I've been playing for some time. As everyone knows, the superlatives that have been laid upon that game. My PS3 is still connected to the living room TV, so it's one of... That's why I'd have probably sat and done that in a couple of days if I'd had the opportunity. It is a fantastic game, but what let me down with it was the actual game part of it. The combat and all the fighting I didn't enjoy, and it just got to a stage where I just wanted to get past that as quick as possible just to see more cutscenes and see the story develop. And I mean, I can remember towards the end of the game, you just think, I'll just run past them. If I can just run past them and skip to the next cutscene, that's all I want to do. I can see why it had the praise heaped on it. But I almost wanted it to be like the Walking Dead from Telltale, and that minimal effort and watch some fabulous voice acting, and then carry on. So overall, I did enjoy it, but it was in spite of the gameplay, I think, rather than because of it. So the next thing I decided to do, stared at the Steam library for a bit longer, and I think Adam he put me onto Steam Roulette, a website where you put in your Steam account and it randomly spits out a game to play. And it spat out The Typing of the Dead.
Oh, I've always wanted to play that.
I have too. I was quite happy. I thought, well, at least it's given me something that I'll quite look forward to. For those that don't know, it's typical House of the Dead light gun game, but rather than shooting a light gun, you type. And as you type in the words that appear on the screen, you type the words, if you get them right, you shoot the zombie, it goes down, and so on and so forth. The game is supposed to be B-movie humour, but it misses it completely for me. The humour of it turned me off to it, even before I'd actually started playing. The music on the title screen just wanted to make me punch the screen. It seems quite a fun game. I'm almost going to play it with the sound down, because I want to punch every single voice that I hear in that game, and the music, and everything. So, rather than enjoying it, I just want to get through it now. So, no, I'm disappointed, because when I'd seen trailers and that, seemed seem to be quite good fun, but fun is the last thing I'm having with that game.
Before you move on, do you feel your typing's improving? Can you touch type
Well,
already?
I
or?
sort of can, but I've noticed, and I didn't realise it until I played the game, but I have to glance down at the screen before I start typing. So when you're playing this game, I'm constantly glancing down, then having to glance up, and I feel like I'm exercising my neck more than I'm playing a game. So, yeah, I'm not one finger. I can actually use two. But yeah, I'm never going to be brilliant at that game. So we'll plod through that, and that'll be that. But god damn it, the voice acting. And you know you can watch a film and you think this film is so bad it's good. They've plumbed to new depths with that, and it's so bad it's really bad. But that's just me. So going on to the PS3, decided to tackle the game that had been on the hard drive for the longest. My hard drive's full, so it's constantly one off, one on kind of thing. So Akami HD had been on there. Now, I knew nothing about that game, so I thought, well, we'll play it and we'll get it off. How long can it take? Ages is the answer to that.
Ages, long time.
Yes, yes, it is. It's basically a Zelda game, from what I can tell. If the 40-hour thing that I've heard is it, I'm approximately a third to half of the way through. If that was a game where I didn't have a pile of shame, I would probably be enjoying it a lot more than I am. But in typical sort of, there's so much dialogue, you can't skip it very quickly, and I'm just finding myself getting really impatient with it, rather than taking my time with it and enjoying it. So it's weird. I think I'm beginning to play games that were not in the situation I am with games. I'd probably be enjoying them a lot more. But I find out I'm just like, I just want to get this over with. And there's a stage where I thought, I've beaten the boss. That's not too bad. And the boss dies, but then stuff comes out of him, and it says, this is just the beginning. For God's sake. So, yeah, it's enjoyable, but I will be glad to see the back of it. And that's been me this month.
Can I ask, how are you playing it? You're playing it with a controller or with a move controller?
Sucking the fun out of it. I can't move the controller horizontally, so where you have to use a paintbrush to draw a straight line 5 times later, and I'll manage to do a straight line. So I'm sure there are better ways than playing it. I'm probably picking the worst way to play it, but play it we will.
Because I've got it in my pile of shame, and I want to play it with a move controller. But I'm in the same position that it's like 40-odd hours, and it's like, do I really want to spend 40-odd hours playing a game when I've got other stuff that I could probably crack through? So it keeps kind of popping up, and I keep going, maybe I'll have a crack on that, and then it's like, no, it's going to take too long.
Historically, when I've played Zelda games, they've hooked me from the beginning, and I've played through them, and I've enjoyed them. This one hasn't done that. And it's a game, for perhaps its age, but it's full of random encounters, and rather than looking forward to the combat, I find myself trying to run around it to dodge it, which is probably going to make the game harder in the long run. But it's, when you know a game is taking that long and it's not really grabbing you, it's become a bit of a grind rather than enjoyable. But I'm too stubborn to quit it and move on, so sadly. So yeah, that's my month.
Thank you very much. You seem to have got through a lot for somebody who does a lot of staring at the screen.
Well, you don't know what's on the screen, Colm.
Thank you, Matt. You're in fine form tonight.
Oh, bless you.
Okay. Anybody want to add anything to that section there before we move on? This is the best section ever.
No.
Thank you. Okay. What?
This is the calm before the storm.
What we have picked up, lads. Okay, Stuart. What have you picked up?
I picked up the review code of Tower Guns from yourself. And I picked up the old blood with the last or the remnants of my Xbox Live credit. Other than that, it's been a pretty sweet month, with 0 pickups. Woo! What else did I get? Anything exciting this month?
Do you download any of the games with gold or anything like that on Xbox One?
Aye, but I don't really count them.
Yeah.
It's like, when they start, it's an Angry Birds clone. You just sit and shoot stuff like an Angry Birds, but instead of shooting birds, you're shooting bows and arrows with it. Meh.
I like Castle
I like
Storm.
Castle
It's a lot of fun.
Meh.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Meh. You know what I mean? It does nothing for me. Absolutely
Oh,
nothing.
it's really nice. I really like the fact where you change over to the knight and start bashing things with a knight, and then have to juggle back to fire stuff and send different troops in. I don't like RTSs, and I really enjoyed
It's
it.
not an RTS, it's fucking Angry Birds. It's Angry Birds.
It's an RTS.
It's not. An RTS is Command and Conquer, Halo Wars, Age of Empire, StarCraft.
You obviously haven't played it far enough then, because you've got to send in specific troops to deal with certain other troops.
5th or 6th chapter on it. I think
I wouldn't call it RTS. I'd say it was more Tower Defense. Angry Birds meets Tower Defense.
Tower Defense.
It's basically Angry Birds, and then the ability to spam guys to run in. But it's no. It didn't set my world on fire. It's no for free. Again, it's another one of the Xbox Live games where I was never going to buy it anyway. So it's like, meh. It'll just sit there. I'll play it on occasion, and then I'll be like, meh. That sums it up. Fucking tower defense. What you call it? Casual defense body. Blah blah blah. iPhone game up. Resed fucking. But to combat Mr. I buy all my clothes for Mr. Brand. I buy all my clothes for insert coin. Fuck yourself, mate. I buy all my clothes for fucking Janks. I bought myself a kind of FBI style over fucking battlefield coat thing. It's kind of raincoat thing, but it doesn't have zippers. It's just poppers. And it's kind of like the kind of wet weather FBI jackets they wear. It's quite nice. It says Battlefield Hardlines on it. It's kind of black and stuff. I made a short vine with a horrifical impression on it. But yeah, it was nice. It was free. It was what I wanted. It was all good.
Matt, what have you picked up?
As per usual, I've picked up all the PS Plus and Games with Gold stuff because my membership is still ongoing. Shan't read through them because I think we've decided that is Man at CNA Connor's section, so we'll let him read all those out.
Don't you dare steal his section from me. I'll kill you.
That's it. That's the only reason people tune in is to hear what PlayStation Plus content they could have had this month, but it's too late for them to get now because the new content.
Too late, kids. You've had your fill.
I did pick up a game called Nosferatu: The Wrath of Malachi. I don't know what that is. Apparently, I had to like a Facebook page and I got a Steam code for it. So, don't know what it is. Don't know when I'll play it. Probably never. But I got it for free. So, free stuff is always good. That's been my month.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Now, on to the man of the moment. The one you've all been waiting for. Connor, what have you picked up?
I'm the second most popular man on the internet.
I don't know. After this month, Stuart is pretty popular.
It's all good on.
Okay, Connor, what have you picked up?
Well, as Stu alluded to, I've picked up some more clothes from Muster Brand. I got a nice Half-Life shirt, which is really good. It's a big shirt, so it kind of works a bit like a jacket. A very denim-y kind of look to it. It's very nice. And an Uncharted shirt, which I don't really know why it's an Uncharted shirt. I bought it because it looks more like Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. I suddenly have a penchant for Czech, which I never previously had. And they're rather nice. I had a discount code that was burning a hole in my wallet and only had a few hours left to use on it, so I thought I'm going to use that. Games-wise, I got some review codes. I got Nom Nom Galaxy, which I've talked about and is fantastic. Zen Pinball Star Wars Rebels and Zen Pinball Marvel Avengers. So a couple of new tables. I also won a prize. I won Gradius 5 via Konami, of all things, retweeting on Twitter, and I've randomly got a PS3 copy of that. Haven't played it yet. It's downloaded. I will play it at some point. Also, as of today, I've got Octodad Dudley's Catch, because that's a cross-buy one. I reviewed the PS4 version, and I've now got the free version of the Vita version of the game. So that's going to be good. And then the bit everyone's been waiting for, the PlayStation Plus content for May. PS4 Ether 1, which is supposed to be a horrible, horrible buggy mess. Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, which I already own. They were on PS4. On PS Vita, Murasaki Baby, which came out just as I started my year of shame, and I was really, really gutted because I really wanted that game, and I still haven't tried it yet. Cross-buy for 3, 4 and Vita was Unfinished Swan, which I've played the demo of, but not played the full game. Race the Sun, which I've talked about, and Hohokum, which I bought on release, which is a very, very odd game, and I recommend people play that because it's trippy. And that's it. That's the wonderful list over with for this month.
Must admit, I've got a Half-Life T-shirt as well, and it's bright orange. And my wife says bright orange isn't my colour. You look like a fat twat. So I don't wear it anymore. Finally,
You could have looked like an
term?
inmate.
Is
You know what I mean? Could have been you look like an inmate, my friend. You know what I mean? You just escaped from some penitentiary. Something.
no, I look like a man up.
Well,
a
that's
Tango
exactly
advert from the 80s,
that is exactly what Catherine said. I look like in that shirt because it's not got a proper collar on it. It's got like the sailor collar,
Oh, sailor.
and it looks like it looks like that kind of prison material type look to it.
What the stuff?
way
The
they
stuff they
cut
make the
stuff.
bed sheets out of.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Ideal, just what everybody wants.
It's fantastic. I'm loving
brilliant.
it.
Okay, that's
Is it no itchy?
No, it's not like bed sheets. It's like denim. It's like prison issue denim clothing. That's what it looks
say
like.
push comes to shove and your wife's in the kitchen and she was demolishing it, and say she accidentally, oops, I've just spilled a jar of beetroot and it's all over her lovely dishcloth. I mean, a tablecloth. Could you technically, if the vicar was coming, I don't know if the vicar comes for tea at your house, but he might. If the vicar was coming, could you throw the shirt over the table and it would look as if it was a tablecloth? Because I know quite a lot of these kind of check plaid shirts look like.
Oh, the Uncharted
tablecloths.
one.
Yeah.
No, not really. It's too thick. It's too kind of. It's more lumberjacky, rugged kind of thickness is the Uncharted one, and the colour of it would absorb the beetroot far too quickly. And that just wouldn't be a good thing. And it's a long time since I've taken tea with the Parsons.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you kids are calling it nowadays?
That's fine.
I can't believe I've just managed to squeeze a Robert Rankin reference into this podcast. I'm quite impressed with myself.
Hey, that's your achievement for the day. There was many a spectrum.
It is.
and that
I'm
was
quite
the goal.
happy with that. And I think I will be letting Robert Rankin know that I've managed to
Year
squeeze
change
that in.
3 platinum.
Nah, we're no platinum that yet. We're almost there, but we're
brilliant.
not quite. Still working on the platinum.
good. Okay. So to move on to me as usual. No beta codes this month. Very unusual.
That's because you probably fucked things
Yeah,
up. So
well,
nothing
nothing changed there. The usual shy. Collie, I fucked it up again.
I'm
Sheridan.
just scrolling through to make sure there's no Colm's confessions. I don't see
That's
one in
okay.
the listener mail.
You won't be seeing any this month. I was traumatised after last month. I'm still recovering.
But you shouldn't be doing that. You don't educate somebody through harassment punishment. Why are you punishing them? Said no one ever.
Punishment is actually the most effective. It's just not the best
It's
form
we
of
should all be friends
reinforcement.
and hold hands and pretend we actually like each other. You know what I mean? It's a podcast of joy and greyness and boredom and fuck that.
Did you say you got Ollie Ollie?
You're spoiling my fucking wrath here, man.
Sorry.
Spoilers.
If you want to record all of that again, I'll shut
Where
up.
did they get all
It's going
your
to take me a fucking month to fucking edit this podcast. Now, I'm going to explain Ollie, okay? Now,
Hold on, what's this?
this
You've got
is not.
extra
This is
ease
in
in
the
it that
right
it
section.
didn't need.
I am
holding-
innocent until proven guilty.
I'm holding the phone.
Holding the
Say something.
Yeah, because to be honest, the
Okay.
show notes say Ollie from my lol. So I'm bracing myself for where this is going.
You got a bit in this. You got a bit in the side.
Okay, get your thing off my line, Connor, please.
Oh, here's his
Get
picture.
your thing off my line.
Mine's on top, as it should be.
His thing's always on the line. Always.
Me on top, Connor on the
Okay,
bottom.
I had €25 credit from my Nintendo on my Nintendo,
Right.
and Ollie was going cheap this month, and
I
because
think it's a
Connor
fantastic
never
game.
shut the fuck up about it in the last couple of months, I had to give it a go, and it's probably one of the few cross buys that you can get on the 3DS and the Wii U. So it was like £4 or something like that. So I plunged and took that plunge, and yes, I have to say it's probably a game I'll never finish. I don't know whether you can finish it. It's
Yeah,
a
you
toughie, but it's fun. So it's got that one more go aspect. I haven't got to play it yet, but it's sitting on my hard drive, ready for next month. The lol bit was, I never got any beta codes this month. Surprise, surprise. My lol, but I had to edit that just before I start talking, as usual. And yeah, that's basically all I got this month. God, the silence is fucking killing me.
I'm keeping
Waiting for
quiet
the
because I've just
punishment.
completely fucked that section up. So I'm just in my mouth.
Okay, thank you, lads. It was
All
fun as usual. Let's move on to missing you, missing stuff. Matt.
Someone record that. That's the new jingle.
We get copyright. we got our arse handed to us for copyright last week for using the song, so we had to use him singing there. Times are tough. Good tower. Good tower.
I should hope they'd be giving us some royalty for that fucking using that last month. Hello, when was the last time that was on their bloody radio? Probably 20 years ago. I was a young, virile man back then with hair and locks. Anyway.
I knew you're missing it.
Chains and whips.
Now there's a vision for you, ladies.
There's a vision for you, ladies. As they say, when I walked into the room, people ran the other way. Anyway, Matt, what have you? Missing anything, Matt?
Review codes, apparently. There seems to be the free way to get games. I don't know what they are, but every month I listen to it. I've got a review code for this. What shop do they come from? I'm not aware of them. Seriously though, I found that now, what are we? We're May into this challenge, obviously longer for Connor. I found I've almost withdrawn myself from. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, go constantly on websites, etc., etc. But now almost isolating myself from it, thinking these are all the games I've got. I'm not going to worry about the new stuff. I mean, you can't help but be bombarded by stuff like The Witcher 3, which looks fantastic, and all the big AAA stuff. But trying to keep myself isolated, not to miss stuff. So yeah, not apart from The Witcher 3, which you can't avoid. Yeah, I've tried to not really missing anything as yet. Apart from my beer, where did I put that?
It's filled on the back of the couch.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Stuart, let's go.
What am I missing? I'm missing because everybody's missing it now. Everybody's playing The Witcher, as we've mentioned. We really wish Stuart would have had a fall off the cart this week because we would have put The Witcher up for the vote. Oh yes, but yeah, I don't even know why I missed The Witcher. It's like I ain't got 270 hours to play The Witcher. I don't really think I'd ever play through it, you know what I mean? But I'm still missing it, you know what I mean? Everybody, you go on your friends list and everybody's either playing The Witcher or they're playing the Destiny DLC, which I also have, but I don't really classify these people as friends that are playing it, so I can't really join them, you know what I mean? It's that kind of awkwardness where you kind of met them, but you don't really know them kind of thing. They're just kind of there filling a seat.
You're not just jumping with them.
No, because I don't know them that well, you know what I mean? It's like I kind of work with you, but I don't really know you that well. And the other thing I'm missing, which is a kind of sore point, shall we say? Because everybody's, after College Confessions last month, and the shenanigans and the hijinks and the absolute dumbfoolery that came from it, people are like, oh, it's alright to buy this, it's alright to buy that. But at the end of the day, what happened was when I got an email from Kai Arts, who my very much beloved Kai Arts. If you listen to last episode 100 part 2, you'll understand I did a wee kind of piece on it. And what it was basically that Kai Arts have got a sale on right now. So you go on to the sale, and I know I shouldn't have done it. I looked at the sale. Point run 1, when they say 25% off everything. 25% off everything. Really? Everything. So I went on to the sale, clicked on the button, went through, and lo and behold, there's that big metal son of a bitch sitting smiling at me and his fucking Titanfall cuteness, just sitting going, Stuarty boy, I'm here. And the day before, somebody I know was at MCM Comic Con in London, and they bought it, and I said to them, was it the magic number? Because in my head, the magic number for it is £100. Because generally it's between like 150 to 100, 150 to 120, right? Is a kind of going price for them. And I asked the guy at MCN what he paid 115, and I was like, oh, well, it's not the magic number. And then the very next day I clicked on it, and the bastard's sitting there right now with his big smiley face for $99.99.
Just fucking buy it.
$99.99.
It's not. It gives you no benefit to the game.
And I know
it's
it doesn't.
a figure. Fucking buy it.
But I did say that I shouldn't be buying these things, and this was part of my challenge as well. Was not to buy the things. I can buy clays because I need a raincoat. When it rains, I get wet. My new coat prevents me from getting wet. Well, it prevents my arms, my torso from getting wet. My legs get wet still, but it's good. Whereas that's sitting there, the new, and maybe there you go. Let's have a public vote on that one now. Aye,
I think we've had enough public votes for 1 month.
They love it. They love it. They love getting their foul phase. You know what I mean? Public vote. Should I buy the Kayarts Titan? Yes or no? You decide. Get your votes in next week. There's no prizes with this one because it's not really a major vote, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's what I'm missing. Because I had a look as well, and pretty much everything's like between 40 and £30 now, and it's kind of like, oh, it's like there's the new Snake. Oh, there's the rest of the Noble team. Oh, there's.
I'm blaming you because I got an email through from Square to do the Kayat sale, and I went and had a look at the Metal Gear stuff. I didn't buy anything, but I was really, really tempted. Really, really tempted. That the big boss and the Raiden. Revengeance Raiden one I was very, very tempted by, but I didn't.
I've got the Revengeance Raiden one in white, which was like a limited edition one they did.
Is that the one, the collector's edition?
Well, it was originally, but then they brought him out as a separate, like an actual Kayarts figure in the white way, and I think he had like extra weapons or something. He had something that he had more wear as a figurine than he did with the collector's edition, because you can get him in black and in white.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was, you can get the new big boss, you can get the Skull Man, and you can get Quiet, but Quiet's like £80.
Quiet's still full price,
because she's the controversial one, obviously, just now because of her articulation. Whereas the two other ones are like 40, 48, 40.
Squeezable boobs is not a form of articulation.
No, you can angle them. Do you know? There's videos on YouTube of people like angling them. Because I was interested to see how it looked. But the really interesting thing was, I'm going on about the big Titan boy, but the problem was he isn't that big, because the person I know also got Quiet, because Square Enix were actually at the show. So we bought Quiet, and Quiet stands at the standard issue height for a female character. But the Titan, if you take the pilot off the top, he actually is shorter than Quiet. It's a bit kind of like, it's a bit humiliating, isn't it? He's a fucking big robot. And it's like, but the thing is, the pilot sits inside him and stuff and all that, and you can do a lot of fancy cool stuff on. But hey ho, public, if you don't mind me getting them, tell me. If you don't want me getting them, we don't get them. As I said on Twitter, money's sitting there for him right now, sitting there smiling, waving, going hello. So I know I'm fighting the urge big time.
That's what they mean by money talks, yeah.
Yeah, the money just sits. He's like, aye. That's the worst thing. It's not even like I can justify myself. I can save. No. There's no saving. It's like basket, bucket, clear, PayPal, go. 2 days later, it'll turn up at my door. It's like, oh dear. And the worst thing is the payment one. The postage on these things are shocking because it's like $3.99. It's like, what? It's like $3.99 to post that to me. It's like, usually these things are like 20 quid to post. No. But how they do it is they use a courier service, and basically any model you buy on that site's $3.99 postage. So it's really reasonable considering you're buying something that's quite expensive, you know. So, aye, it's I'm missing that. I'm missing that. Aye, we'll say that. But then if it's £100 the new, how much will it be at the end of the challenge? You know what I mean? Will Square Enix beat Eurogamer this year? It's an hard question, isn't it? If Square Enix turn up at Eurogamer, you might get them at a show price at Eurogamer.
All to be revealed in the future. If I'm still around, that is. Okay, thank you, Stuart. Me, am I missing anything? My sanity. My amiibos.
You miss that every month.
Or my spare cash. That's all I'm missing at the moment. All to be revealed later.
Ooh, the tension.
Ooh.
Palpable.
Connor!
It's absolutely palpable.
Trousers, to be honest.
Yeah. Are you bulging?
You're not wearing a pair of Justins, are you?
Are you bulging again? Do you need to go to the laboratory?
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Okay. Thank you. I like this new mat, the Drunken Rogue. Anyway, Connor, what have you been missing?
Witcher, like everyone else, mainly because I probably won't actually play it. It's not really my type of game, but I think the hype's kind
It's
of
just a
swallowed me up
game.
and
That's
made me
what it is,
go,
isn't it? It's just
yeah,
a
you want
game.
this, you want this. I'm like, I'm not really into that fantasy kind of world anyway, so why am I that bothered by it? Nah.
Batman, isn't it? Next big game's Batman.
That's the one that's gonna hurt. Next month's gonna be painful. Project Cars, because I quite like fast cars, and that looks really, really pretty. But again, it's one of those things. Main thing I'm missing is actually having any spare cash, because my sister's wedding next month, and we're at the point where Catherine's wage has reduced dramatically, and the reason for me doing a year of shame has started to kick in properly. So me not being able to buy games is definitely of major benefit. So it's starting to become very apparent that I needed to do a year of shame. Otherwise, I would have seriously struggled.
The cutbacks in the family? Okay.
Yes,
Take it your way.
majorly.
I was going to say take it your way 6 month old now, because that's you went.
Not far off.
Because you go for full pay to half pay, didn't you? At 6 months, if you're on maternity.
Just yeah, basically, because maternity started earlier from work, so it's now getting to the point where it does drop, and I think she's on to statutory, so that's going to be fun for the next 3 months.
Rusks
So,
for
yeah.
all.
Okay, thank you, Connor. And if any listeners want to donate some nappies, Connor would be greatly. Thank you.
Just for recording next month's year of shame.
Yeah.
I think Matt might need them so that he doesn't have to nip off to the
Laboratory.
laboratory, as
Where the magic
Colm
happens.
calls
Still
it.
can't.
Go on, you go to the computer. I'm going to make a deposit at the bank. Don't know why he's making that Irish voice, but
classic.
because,
I love it. I
you know,
love it.
That's
Okay, thanks, Connor. Okay, thoughts and feelings. Mine, I'm sweating. That's probably just
some things never change.
Just be-
Some things.
Can we get
never-
Colm some
I have
deodorant,
enough
please? If
here.
there's any deodorant people wanting to sponsor the Year of Shame, this is an open call out. Colm will wear it. He is the most popular man on the internet, and it will stop him
Yeah.
sweating, or at least that's what he'll be able to tell
Yeah,
the listeners.
That's it, exactly. And I'm sweating because it did the which I was.
The oven zone. Is
Yes,
the oven
the
zone,
oven is preheating as we speak, and yeah, the results will be in soon, so I can't really say anymore. I'm also getting fed up with all these amiibo talk, and all you muppets, well, except Matt, are getting review codes. Yeah, there you go. I said it.
See that I've got issue with that because you're like, oh, you Muppets are getting review. Personally, I've spent 9 years of my life fundamentally writing from enthusiast level to semi-professional level to technically semi-pro level now because I get published in a national newspaper. So I've done the legwork. I've pressed the flesh. I've went to fucking all these places and met these people and had folk go, "You're an arsehole," and then level up and go hire them and stuff. You know what I mean? So I've done the legwork, and if I get a review copy, that's a key word. Fucking went and did the Witcher and did that. Did I get the Witcher? Fucking hell, did I get the Witcher? But I'm definitely getting Project Cars, I'm told. Aye, right. So Project Cars may turn up, even though it's too late for a review, but we'll see. But aye, at the end of the day, don't moan at us. If you want review copies, then do the legwork, bust your balls, write pieces, write reviews, write previews, write features, and don't go on Twitter and go, "Oh, I really want a review copy," because shit journalism will be on you like a case of donuts, man. I love that Twitter feed. It's the best. No, but it's the best Twitter feed ever. Because it's like people went to the people who did Octodad and went, one of our reviewers is looking to review your game, but we never got a review code. Can I get a review code? And all he does is dredge the dirt that is Twitter, finding people begging developers for codes. You know what I mean? It's so funny. It's just so funny and cringy. And people who get PR, no, I mean that shit during journalism's Twitter. People who get PR stuff and take pictures of it and go, it's different. Like when I get something, like I got my donut box as a prize, I was like, oh my god, it's a donut box. I don't get much of that in the way of that ever, because it's only when you win prizes, you know what I mean? Or when I went to that Witcher event, which was like a one-off thing, you know? So it was like, when I get stuff like that, I get really excited, whereas people are just taking pictures of like fancy USB drives and PR copies and all of these things, and you're kind of like, you don't have the right to do that, because technically you're only getting that to make you feel good about the game you're reviewing, so you can turn around and go, game's rubbish, but they did send me X, Y, and Z, and I know it shouldn't work like that, and I know it's a very negative way of viewing it, but that's how the industry works. You know what I mean? That's how it works. My view is the people who do it don't get review copies every week. I'll trust more than the people in the high end who get took away to special trips to Germany and blah blah blah, and France and Italy and E3. Because I've talked to folk at the high end. That's the thing as well. Right? We all like I right this minute I've got my Eurogamer band. Every year I go to Eurogamer and I keep my band on my arm. Right, I keep my band on my arm. Why do I keep my band on my arm? Because I like to wash with it. Nah, it's kidding on. But I keep it on my arm because I look at it and it reminds me why I do what I do, because I remember the feeling I get at Eurogamer. Well, I was at a thing with people who remain nameless, but let's just say some big editors on websites, really big websites, shall we say, and we're talking, and I was like going, oh, I love Eurogamer, it's great, it's amazing, and that, and they were just so blasé. They were just like, oh, I'm fed up of Eurogamer, I'm no going. And then they went, oh, I'm fed up of E3. See, at that point, I could have stood up and kicked their head off the wall and kept kicking them till there was nothing but mush. Because at the end of the day, you do not have the fucking right to say that. You can't turn around and say you're fed up at an event where people would crawl through glass to go to. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but E3's a big thing for me.
Yeah, it's a big thing for me this year.
Yeah,
you know
E3's a big thing.
And it's like, it's on my bucket list. I want to go to E3, I want to go to Gamescom. And to sit at a table eating dinner with people who are just like, nah, I'm done with it. It's like, well, give me a ticket. I'll go and I'll have an absolute ball and I'll enjoy my life.
What you do have to take into account is that some of these people do have to eat, live, drink and play that whole experience. And if you've done that 3 or 4 times and you're basically pulling 24-hour shifts for 3 days to try and get copy out and go and talk to people about a game you've got zero interest in, because that's what you're going to have to do, then yeah, you're going to get pissed off and disenfranchised by it. That's to be expected.
But it's the fine line between you don't do it that long, but because somebody I know this week got a job at Game, was on Twitter. Yeah, I've got a job at Game, and I said it'll kill you. It will kill your love of games. Working in somewhere like Game for more than a year, I'd say, you know what I mean? It's like you do these things for so long, or you do these things until what's weighted or what's asked of you is too much and you feel yourself, because there's a fine, like you say, there's a fine line between enjoying and loving it and loving it and feeling the vibe, and then being dead behind the eyes and just going through the motions. And I think there's a difference between that, and I think there's a key difference between that, because I don't ever listen.
Yeah, there's a key difference between doing something for the fun of it and doing something because you're paid to do it.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I'm on that level where I'm kind of getting paid to do it technically. It's weird because I get paid to go there anyway, work it anyway, and I'm doing words. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't class myself as a play journalist because technically it's my wage anyway, because I get it anyway, blah blah blah. But I still get a major kick out of it. Now that's because I'm at the early doors of getting printed, published. You know what I mean? Maybe in 20 years when I'm fucking firing shit out every day of the week, I might go, oh, fuck, I'm sick of it. But I still get that buzz. I still get that buzz every time I see my name in print. I still get that buzz when I review. I still get that. You know what I mean? And I find it really hard that if you love what you do, even if it's a shit that you don't, you know, I've reviewed some shit in my life, but I've never ever let it get me down, because I'm always keep pushing for the angle, you know? And I think if you're at that hierarchy, I think you shouldn't be allowed to feel that way with it, you know what I mean? And moan and groan about it, you know? But then that's me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good. Yeah, I see Connor's point as well. I mean, it's probably if you're constantly reviewing games, if that's your work, if that's your, you know, it would get to the stage.
It's like doing a constant year of shame. To be fair, it's like you have this pile of games you've got to play through and you've got to write copy on. That's not enjoyable. In a similar experience to this, isn't enjoyable because you're having to play through stuff that you've bought and gone, yeah, I really want this. And then when you get around to trying to play it, some of the stuff you're kind of going, why did I ever buy this? And you're just beating yourself around the head of, oh, I've got to get through this. This is on my pile. I want to get rid of this off my pile. And it's difficult. For me, I deal with the PRs a lot. And you get a lot of knockbacks. You have to send a lot of emails. You have to talk to a lot of people. And it's taken a good couple of years for me to actually start to get review copies without requesting them. And that's purely because I've got a good relationship built up with Joypad and me, with the developers.
Aye, but you've had to shovel to get there. That's the thing. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's no fair. I think the thing, it's weird because it's the fact that there's a split between professional and enthusiast. Because there's quite a lot of high end enthusiasts out there. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, PR companies are there to sell the product. That's the point. They're hired to promote a product, right? So for companies and website and reviewers to beg, in theory, you know what I mean, what you see on the internet for stuff, I think that's wrong. I think that's totally wrong. Because their primary job is so that that item gets publication and gets spotlight. That's all they care about, spotlight. So why do they have to make folk crawl through the, you know what I mean, if you've got a website and you're getting so many hits, it's like the cheek they've got, like how many hits do you get a month? You know what I mean? It's like, what does that matter? The fact is I'm writing enthusiastic, good copy, I'm getting good hits and stuff on it. I don't need to tell you exact numbers. You know what I mean? It's all about the numbers with them. And I don't agree with that as a mindset, you know? I think it's structured wrong in the industry.
But it's done to qualify why they're giving that away. You've got to remember, this has a price value to it. A copy of a game has a price value. And they have to work out what the return is from giving a free copy of that game out. There's someone else is having to calculate the numbers of, okay, we have X amount to give out. How many are we going to sell based on the X amount we give out? We need to sell this amount to make that worth it.
Aye, and that's all budgeted into marketing, you know what I mean? That's marketing budget. So it's just a case, I've seen a lot of things that I don't really like in the industry, but that's me, but then I'm in the position where I can hum and ha and do what, you know what I mean? I'm no tied down, really, you know what I mean? I think it's a case you can lock yourself in with a lot of publishers. You can get too deep too quick with them. When you get too deep too quick with them, if you don't produce quality to the standard they want, it then gets messy, if you know what I mean. For what I've seen.
Yeah, but that's a different type of publication. That's a publication that's quite often sponsored by the developers. It's one of the reasons there's been so much issue with print media is that you will have this big 2-page advert for Call of Duty, and then on the next page you will have the review of Call of Duty, and if that review doesn't match up to the amount they've spent for their advertising budget in that publication, they'll be held to pay.
Only with that point in mind, it wasn't print media. You only have to take into account the case of Jeff Gerstmann when he was at GameSpot, when they spent so much money promoting Kane and Lynch, and he gave it a mediocre review. He was in employment for another week at GameSpot, and the money floating around the games market now, you know, there is always going to be pushback, and there is so many. Everyone's got an opinion on games because now PCs and consoles are such widespread things, and as Stuart has been saying, you know, that from enthusiasts to people writing occasional articles on websites to print media, etc., everyone will have an opinion. But unfortunately, as you get older, cynicism comes to us all, and you will it certainly come to me.
So it's also to deal with media, but it's as in like it's like 10 years ago it was just like you'd sit and talk to your mates about it. That would be it. But now you've got like Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Vine, you name it. There's so many places with people just shouting, and everybody's shouting to get the attention. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's very much like my Twitter feed. I think it's like 95% is games orientated, and it's just like when somebody told me that, and you look at it, you're kind of like, that is actually true, because you've got all these people going nip, 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 and it's like, wow, you know what I mean? There's no like a universal voice, and I think it's just a case of, it's weird. It's one of the weird things. Unlike film and stuff, everybody's got an opinion on everything. You know what I mean? And it's just the case of to cut a notch and get your space in this place, a wee green field to play in. It's getting rarer and rarer. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing to say you build a website, you go on a website and nobody looks at you. You know what I mean? You could spend all your time, have the greatest site in the world, have cool writing and everything. Nobody will come and look at you, but you know what I mean? And that's the most soul crushing thing about it, I think. But that's because oversaturation in it. So it's sad. It's kind of sad that way, but hey ho, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? We're just lucky to be in the position we're Colm. So don't you sit there and go fucking Muppets this, fucking Muppets that. Alright.
Oh well, that's good. Good.
You're not. If I'm honest, you're really lucky to have got a review copy again. Technically.
Ah, yeah.
Because you don't write and
I don't. Yeah,
only
I can
day-
barely talk.
You only do 2 podcasts. In one of them, no, but you know what I mean?
I know, yeah. Well, that's why I
You
didn't
know what I
go
mean?
looking for that. I was
I'm
said it
just
on
saying
Twitter.
that, I'm just saying.
He did approach you,
Yeah.
to be fair. So I think that's fair comment. And I think that was the kind of the stinger to that is when he was asking for extra information. So, well, you
Yeah.
approached me, as you said last month, Colin. It's like if someone approaches you to offer you a review copy, that's fine. You shouldn't have to be justifying it. I think that's
Look,
disgraceful.
I got a phone call last week asking me if I was interested in reviewing the new Batman.
Oh,
And I'm
cool.
going to myself,
Excellent.
well, aye. But then it's like, what can you give me? Like, as in, right, we'll give you the new Batman. You gain us a page, you gain us a spread, you gain us some website space. And I'm going to myself, I'm just a guy that writes. I'm no a gaffer. I don't plan, I don't put on the site, I don't do any of that. I'm just the guy that writes. And for me, I need to talk to people. They don't understand. You need to talk to, like, because of the industry I'm in, I'm just a unit inside a big, massive company. And there's guys that gaming's like one tiny iota. So I need to go to talk to the web guy and say, could you spare me some space? Or I need to go and talk to the press guy and say, any chance of this? And then they need to sit and go, maybe a fortnight on Thursday. Maybe. And you're kind of like, right. And then you go back to the phone and you go to the guy, how you doing? Maybe. And they're like, well, is that a guarantee? And I'm like, well, maybe. You know what I mean? And it's really awkward. I'm being honest. So, and the thing is, you play by, as I've been told now, it's just a case of we play it by ear. We get the copies right, the copy, we put it up. That's great. If we don't get the copies, I don't go hunting for copies. But I will tell you one thing, having been an enthusiast and having then took the position I'm in, no position I'm in, but evolved into kind of Sun writer. It's a case of saying the Sun, oh Jesus, mother of Christ, see the amount of doors it opens. Doesn't even open doors, it blows them wide off. You ask folk you would never imagine asking for interviews. You got them any chance in an interview, boom, when do you want me? I'll be on Skype tomorrow. So, really? Like, really? And they're like, aye, it's the Sun. I'm like, but if I asked you from my enthusiast site, you tell me to fuck off. You know what I mean? And it's just
all about
the mindset.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
The bigger the name, the more punch and clout you've got.
Well, yeah, initially, but it depends who you deal with. Because if a personal touch rather than a generic email to someone works so much better.
Well, that's what I did.
You get a lot more response. There's no way our site should have interviewed David Hayter. There's no way I should have interviewed David Hayter. Absolutely no way. And that was purely from good conversation that I managed to actually get that interview. Granted, the interview's shocking on my part, but it was done by taking a chance.
Well, that's what I can't. Well, see, that's the thing. The weird thing was I was playing that game when I was trying to see. I set up a shit ton of interviews with Scottish devs and stuff. So like, there's a lot of Scottish devs out there in the world. Like the lead on Forza Horizon, Scottish. The guy did Halo, Scottish. He did Xbox UK PR, Scottish. I sent them all emails and talked to them and we spoke to them and we did that. It's like you're talking to them as a person, you know what I mean? You're not talking to them as that, and that really works because it's if you put a face on it and you actually show interest in people, people are very responsive. I find it's when you turn around and you're just like, right, are you interested in an interview? Here's a time slot, you know what I mean? But this is total tangent. This is total tangent stuff we're on here, man. You know what I mean? We are spiraled out of control.
Yeah, sorry. Pull it back now. Come on.
Rain is in.
Let's get back to the point.
It's his fault.
I'm sorry I
It's
mentioned
his fault.
Muppets in the same sentence as review codes. Okay, let's move on.
You shut your face, Peter. You shut your face.
Order!
Peter.
Order! Anyway, what we've learned from that rant was the new phrase this month is pressing the flesh. Thank you.
What I also learned is I can go for a piss and no one notices.
So it's pressing the flesh and touching cloth. Is that the theme for this month?
Connor, thoughts and feelings?
I'm feeling quite melancholy, I think, at the moment with my game playing. I've realised I am definitely changing the way I've been playing. If people have been listening to this podcast, which I'm sure you have, I've started to get kind of a bit obsessive about certain games and will play them to the end, as Assassin's Creed Unity is fairly testament to, and Run Sackboy Run and Fat Princess. So I'm kind of trying to rinse every last bit of goodness out of games rather than moving on. I'm not kind of butterflying from one game to another. I'll kind of pick one game, if I'm enjoying it, I'll just keep playing it and playing it and playing it until either it's deeply frustrating and I get to that point of I never want to play this again, or I'm at a point of going, actually, yeah, I just want to keep playing this. And at the moment, that's Nom Nom Galaxy for me, is that is me playing something I didn't think I would like, and I am really, really enjoying it. And I like that when that happens. I like when you suddenly go, actually, a couple of hours have gone past, I should probably go to bed. I don't feel stressed out about it, but it is meaning that my pile's not getting any smaller, because I'm getting obsessed by one thing rather than playing enough to move on to something else. So it's kind of a bit of a double-edged sword, that is that I am having fun, but I'm also not reducing my pile.
Well, that's what we're here for, a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Connor. Matt, welcome back.
Hello.
Do you wash your hands again?
Yes.
Good lad.
Minty
Okay.
fresh.
Minty fresh.
No fruity.
minty.
No fruity.
Minty. I'm not 7.
You get it confused with the...
Didn't think
You wash your hands with a toothpaste.
No. Tea tree and mint, thank you.
You're confusing the
that's what
mouthwash
else.
with a hand wash.
But they are plaque free.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
brilliant.
Good morning.
Okay, what have you been missing, Matt?
Um,
I don't think you should mention this, actually.
No. The pan. Almost in polar opposite to Connor, almost like there's a script to this show. In a weird way, I've always been someone that has been historically obsessed with collecting every last collectible and every last achievement, and I'm now just trying to mainline games and to ignore the side stuff, just go through the main quest line, for want of a better turn of phrase, and just get the game done. And it's sort of, I'm not enjoying playing like that, but I realise if I try and 100% everything, get every last thing going, particularly the way collectibles seem to be going, you know, the Assassin's Creed, the Batman games are two that instantly spring to mind for just distractions away from the main plot, that I'm trying to get through games as fast as possible. Is that probably doing me a disservice to the games? Probably, but I'm so keen to experience, you know, when you've got a pile of shame as large as mine, so keen to experience everything I've got, and it's still have this dream that I will play every game I've ever bought. It's ridiculous when you look at the amount of games there are, but just trying to plough through everything as quick as possible.
I'll be curious to see in 3 months' time if you go the same way I did, is that you actually go, bollocks to this, trying to bomb through everything I'm not enjoying. I'm going to find something I enjoy, and I want to just keep playing that until I'm done with it and move on to something else. I'm wondering if you flip, because I was definitely early on in the same position as you. I was just going, right, I'm going to play this, and it flipped for me. So I'm curious if that happens.
I mean, there's
to anyone
only
else.
in since I've started the challenge, there's only one game that's probably hooked so much that I was quite, once the credits rolled, I would instantly have played it again and had to stop myself realising there are other things to play.
Was that Transistor?
Yes, yeah. I mean, that game I could quite happily be playing now. I mean, as I've mentioned, I've stopped mentioning it in what we've been playing, but Hearthstone is another game that I will play every day even if only 10-20 minutes. Nothing has really grabbed me, but there may be a game that I hit on at some stage and that hooks me, and it's difficult to pull yourself away. But at the minute, yeah, I probably realise I'm not getting 100% out of the games, but there's so much to experience that I want to keep playing on until I find a game as good as Transistor that I can spend that sort of time with. So.
Yeah, I've had that sort of similarity with, as Connor says, I've decided I want to enjoy the games this month more so than plough through them. So I've really enjoyed Legend of Zelda. You know, I've just been thoroughly enjoying it. So
I mean, that might be a thing. Obviously, a lot of my games for the consoles are physical copies, so they're hidden away in a back room in a box, and I'm not presented with them like when I boot up my PC or the games that are on the hard drive of the consoles, and you see them all there staring at you, going, "You should really be playing me. You know, you bought me a long time ago." You know, when I eventually get stuff off hard drive, so it's no longer staring me in the face, it might be easy to think, "Well, this is the only game on the hard drive. I might as well play it for a bit longer." But at the minute, the hard drives on everything I've got full, and it's a case of I just need to free up some space so I can download more stuff to stare at in the face.
I'm suffering that exact problem with my PS4. My PS4 is rammed at the moment, and I need to start clearing stuff off it. Because of PlayStation Plus, it's just rammed. I had so much stuff because of cross-buy from PS3 and Vita, and I need to just start whittling some of it down or removing it. I've removed Trying to whatever edition it is because I played it on PS3. I don't really want to go back and play it on PS4. And there's other ones that I keep seeing and going, it's just staring at me. Get rid of it. I don't need to see it. I've played it before. I don't need to play it again. And you do have to kind of be a bit harsh with it, I think.
Yeah. I don't have that. I mean, there are games on there where I probably think I don't really want to play that, but I find it very difficult to delete a game off a hard drive, thinking, well, I haven't even given it 5 minutes. It might be the greatest game ever. Whether a few more months down the line, I think, look, you're never going to play that, so just get rid of it. At the minute, I'm still living the dream. I can play everything. So.
Part of my issue is the length of time it'd take for me to re-download it if I do suddenly fancy playing it. And that's why I tend to store everything at once, because my internet speed's shite. I will have everything on there, so that if I do, it does take my fancy. But I think I need to maybe punish myself and go, right, no, clear them off, start again. If you want something, download it, and then bloody play it.
Yeah, I think that way too. You're better off just having one game on your hard drive and just play the frickin' thing, because the more games you have in it, the more distracted you come on. So Stuart doesn't seem to have that dilemma, do you, Stuart?
No, I just play what I want and enjoy it. It's the story of my life.
Okay, Stuart, thoughts and feelings.
Well, there's lots of thoughts going around. Lots of feelings apparently on Twitter as well. Many feelings, many hard feelings, many hurtful feelings.
Yes, they are very hurtful.
Yes. Yes. You should take a look at yourself in the mirror. You know who you are. Times 3. My thoughts and feelings for this month. One thing and one thing alone is E3 is coming.
I think that was more of a woo,
the script says woo.
It's spelled it wrong.
Sorry.
Woo, please. Woo.
Sorry, it was more a wee than a woo. it's Matt who's a professional in the wees and the woos.
You're confusing wees and woos with peas and poos.
Oh
God!
We were so high class till then. You've dragged it right down to the gutter.
You just destroyed my joke again. I can't tell jokes in this cast without somebody turning around and
it's usually me that ruins it.
I know, you fucking waste my game, fucking waste your face. Aye, E3's coming, 15th of June. 15th of June. Get in there. That's when the Xbox Live, Xbox conferences, and then it goes Xbox It goes Buena Vista. It goes Bethesda at 4:30 in the morning. Xbox 5, EA at 8, PlayStation at 11. The next day you've got Konami and you've got Nintendo. So yeah, those are coming, and giddy woo. I can't wait to see what happens. There's going to be a lot of announcements. There's going to be a lot of big things. There's going to be a lot of exciting things happening. So, yeah, next month should be an exciting month to cover. With what are you missing? Because there's going to be a shit ton of stuff.
That's all going to be coming out in 2016 as a moot point for your year of shame.
Yeah, well, the kicker was I turned around and got really excited about Rainbow Six Siege getting delayed because Polygon said that it was delayed to Q3 2016. No. Q3 to me is kind of September, or August, September time. That's Q3. Q3 Ubisoft way is the end of this year, so it's out in October, because Ubisoft's fucking financial calendar is totally different from like an actual calendar. So yeah, the Siege is out in October, which is a bit gutting because I thought it was out next month, and I was all excited for getting it next year. But it turns out it's out in October, so that'll be one I'm missing as well. Sad face on my face. So yeah, but that's enough sadness. E3, Battlefront will be shown, new Halo will be shown, new Gears of War will be shown, Doom will be shown, all the good stuff will be shown, you know what I mean? So, and it's the surprises as well that will be shown I'm excited for. the kind of things that you look at and they'll go, oh, that'll be like Mad Max. Quite interested to see what Mad Max will be like. You know what I mean? So we'll need to see. But yeah, E3 all the way. Woo-hoo.
You see, this is what I find a problem with the games industry is they're always, going for the next big one. It's always constant. It's always, oh, look at this game, The Witcher 3. Everybody's talking about it now. Everybody's playing it. Next week it'll be something else. It's a constant barrage of, oh, look, here's a new product. Buy this. Always constantly going.
Yep.
It doesn't seem to be the
That's
case for any other industry like that. I know films come out and, you don't get barraged. You don't.
I would say films are the same. I mean, you look at the Marvel films, and they have announced about the next 6-7 years worth of film. There's money to be made, Colm, while the amount of money.
But they don't hit. It's the hit ratio, but I think it's the hit ratio. It's like we're coming up to, in brackets, traditionally the quiet area, which is the summer, traditionally. So it'll be quiet, and then kind of August, September time is when you'll start getting the rush. So August, September, October and November definitely are the 2 rushiest months of the year. And then you're back out, and then all the games that shat themselves about getting released at November, December come out in January, February the following year, you know what I mean? So it's constant, like you say, it's a constant barrage, but at the same time it's not really, because I was talking to a guy at my work and I was going, I'm one year of shame, blah blah blah, and then I went to him, but you know what, it's been quite an easy year realistically so far, because what have we missed? No to say I've got any of these blah blah blah, but you're talking about Dying Light in January, Zombie Apocalypse in February, Zombie Army in February, Borderlands, The Witcher, Project Cars. You know what I mean? We're not missing much.
Which 2 of those you got?
Deal. Yeah, well, 3, because I've got Borderlands. So I got Borderlands as a gift. I get Zombie. You know what I mean? I get Dying Light. So it's like there ain't been shit out this year. It's not like past years where I could go, oh, I've missed this, I've missed this, I've missed this, I've missed this. But then I think flip through into the other half of the year. Yeah, September, October, November. I think they're going to be hellish months. I really think they're going to be hard, because already you've got like Rainbow and you've got like Halo, Battlefront, you know what I mean, other stuff coming out of the woodwork, you know what I mean. Assassin's Creed's going to be there, not that I give a shit, but you know what I mean, I'm just kind of using it as an example. And I think what you'll find is you'll have a few weeks where you get maybe 4, 5, 6 titles released at the same time, which is marketing suicide, you know what I mean. When's Metal Gear out? Metal Gear September,
yeah, it's the day before my 9 days before my year of shame ends.
Aye, so you know what I mean, that's you in the kind of flavour country, so
yeah.
It's definitely going to be, I think...
I've already done my porridge though, because I did it this year. So with like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed were ones that I was absolutely desperate for. So I've done my porridge this year, so I know which ones. I know next year it's not going to, the newer games are going to be out when I'm no longer on a year of shame. So it's not such a big issue for me, but I don't think I'm going to be in the same rush to go out and buy them. I certainly won't be in the same rush to buy Assassin's Creed. I got Unity in February and it was still pissing broken. So I'm not rushing out for Syndicate.
Which is real weird, because I don't understand why they changed the name from Victory to Syndicate. You know what I mean? Syndicate's fucking a future cyberpunk game where you fucking bullshit up. It's no fucking Assassin's Creed. But anyway, but yeah, I think, like I say, the first 6 months of this is a breeze. I've no broke sweat yet. Maybe that's because I've got my eye on the prize that is the 2000 gamer score, fair enough, and that's what I'm aiming for, and I'm kind of numbing away at it. But I think once we get by the first 6 months, it's when the pain starts coming. Personally, I feel definitely the last 3 months will be hard, but hey ho.
Yeah, but you see, my gripe with the games industry is it takes, some games can take up to 100 hours to finish. You go to a movie, it's over in 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? Whereas, Witcher 3 could probably take over 100 hours to finish. So
270.
Well, there you go. That's one game.
Plus, there's 60 hours DLC. There's 60 hours free DLC coming from it.
Yeah, but it's optional. You don't have to play through 270 hours of a game.
No, is it no 270 hours to mainline the story? Because that's what I was really pressing them with when I was talking to them. Was like, how long do you? And they were like 270 to actually just complete it totally, as in like no every side quest.
I thought it was about 100 hours for the full. If you just kind of mainlined it. Even then, that's still a ridiculous amount of time for an adult with a family and a full-time job. I can't throw that. I can't throw that kind of time in. I can. It's an honest fact. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, to sort of back up what Connor has said there, for a lot of people, if I was a teenage kid, that would be a selling point. For me, as with my lifestyle at the minute, that's like, oh, perhaps I won't get that game because of the length of time to see everything.
It's the exact opposite of the Order. The Order for me, I think, would be fantastic. I could do it in 2 nights, be quite happy and done and dusted with it. Whereas The Witcher, 100 hours, 270 hours, get lost. I cannot commit that amount of time to it. It's
Well, that's
just
the
not
thing.
possible.
That's the thing I was talking to the guy I'm talking about as well, because he bought it, and I was saying to him, like, it's the kind of game you can't leave. It's like, you spend like an hour and a half learning the first tutorial level, and then you need to stay on that game, because I couldn't imagine playing The Witcher for like 3-4 months, and then going, right, I'm away to play something else, and then trying to come back to The Witcher and going, what does this button do again? What does that button do again? So it's no a very easy game to come back to, I'd say, once you leave it. You know, it's very...
Which is why I'm a bit daunted by Phantom Pain, because that's supposed to be like 100 hours.
But that's because you're in the desert and there's nothing there but horses doing shits.
And things you can attach air balloons to.
Sheep.
Yeah, sheep. So the open world games, I think, are a killer for doing a year of shame. They're horrendous because they're such a time sink.
Oh, I've had my hand forced. I had a gun put to my head. And, like, I'm in a heist crew now for GTA, so we're playing heists, but I'm also finding myself playing offline now as well. Like, playing the story. Again, I've played the story, but I'm finding myself chipping away at the story just so I'm getting better at the gun mechanic. The first-person gun mechanics take a wee bit of time to get your head into, and the movement and stuff in first-person, so I'm kind of just... And I'm finding myself getting sucked back into that world, and I'm kind of, like, wary of it. I'm like, But then I've just finished 4 Halos on the trot, which are near really open world. They're kind of...
corridor shooters.
Points, so. Well, first one is... The rest of them are wide arena based. Like, there's a lot of vehicle. That's one thing we walked away with, was like, there are a shit ton of vehicle sections. Like, so many vehicle sections. It's unreal. You actually were fed up with flying ghosts at one point. No, flying ghosts, but piloting ghosts at one point. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm sick of this. But they were never designed to be played back to back or the space of a week. You know, so that's where the fall is, because you think back, it's like 4 years gap between them, so obviously you're going to be like, oh, this is amazing, whereas doing them back to back's a bit kind of heavy going, but hey ho. So, but back to you, Colm.
Yes, thank you. It's all about me, as they say. Now, so let's go on to this next section. This is the year of shame, post interrogation. And this month, I'm not going to get interrogated. I am the one doing the interrogation. Yes, I am going to be questioning my friend Stuart. So, Stuart, are you up for this? Of course you are.
Aye.
Good lad.
I've got a comfy seat.
Good lad.
I'm not scared. I got some turnips and I got my meals and I'm ready to
Matt,
go.
is your bladder emptied?
Yes.
Good lad. Okay,
Still
this
here.
week, this...
You implying this is going to take a while?
No, I know
Is
it's
that
not
what
going
you're
to take a
implying?
while for me. It's going to take a while for you because you go on about the questions now. This is something I'm interested in, and I'm shown an interest in your interests, as they say. The host with the most.
You can tell he's a parent.
Yeah.
He's the most
like
popular
when
guy. You know what I mean?
Anything
I'm
for a quiet
learning all
life.
my parenting skills from Colin now.
God help you. God help you for doing that, man. Don't even think about doing that, man. I have failed on all levels of life, okay? It's a fact. You could use me as the bottom of the pile to build yourself up towards the dizzy heights of Matt and Stuart, probably. But there you go. Anyway.
I don't have a wing,
it's a
so
good job my bladder was
yeah,
empty
go
then.
team.
Good. Stuart has a let's just say more than a healthy obsession with certain game called Halo, and I was just curious to know where did this Halo obsession stem from? What did you obsess over before Halo came along? After all, it's only been around for about 13 years. So.
I'm only 28.
Oh, you're 28, are you? Oh, yeah, you are, yeah. Last birthday, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, God love you.
Yeah, 28. So I was, 15 when I first played it. Oh, they were the days.
So, Did you buy an Xbox just to play Halo?
Yeah, pretty much. Story goes, I was up with my mates, and there were three of us, me and Andy, and me and Savage Wolf, and another guy, and it was always the other guy. Used to bring a GameCube round to Andy's, and we used to sit and play Rogue Squadron, and we were like, oh, Rogue Squadron's the best, we love Rogue Squadron, fucking yay. And then one day, my brother's got an Xbox, about a month and a half after launch, and I'd never played an Xbox in my puff, and he brought it round, and we plugged it in, and he brought round Halo. I'm like, oh, there's that Halo, what's that about? Don't really know if I fancy that. Put it on and we played co-op and we played deathmatch, and fucking 40 minutes later I knew that was it. That was the machine for me, because I was still at that point where I was kind of between going to my mum and dad. That was back when I was 14, 15, so I was between saying to my mum and dad, I want an Xbox or I want a PlayStation, and I was pretty much, I'd always said I wanted a PlayStation. I actually went off and I wanted a GameCube at one point because of Rogue Squadron. Funny that, isn't it? And we just turned around and we played Halo, me and Andy, and I just went, fuck it, I want Halo. So, got an Xbox with Halo and Midtown Madness 3, which is awesome. And I've never looked back since. Just played the first game hundreds, thousands, millions of times. Loved the multiplayer, loved the whole story, get into the lore. Just, me and Andy were right into it. Halo 2 came out, I was at college, I remember going and getting it day of launch. It was the first special edition I bought, really, because it was... I just kind of calm, but to give her all my money. Played Halo 2, Halo 3. I went to the midnight launch. Halo 4. I think I bought online. Halo Wars, Halo ODST. I got the special edition. I got Halo Wars special edition as well. Through it, I've met people like on live. Met some of my best friends through Halo. Just read all the books, watched all the shows, read all the comics. Fucking everything.
So did you have an obsession with anything before that?
I was bred as a Sega kid. I was 4, 5 when I got my first Master System, and I was main vein Sega kid. Fucking Sonic was my hero. Right into Sonic as a way, and loved Sonic. I got a Mega Drive, then got a Saturn, got Sonic Jam on it. Totally annihilated that game. All the Chris, Super Knuckles, you name it. Fucking brilliant, good times. Didn't have a Dreamcast. Then Sega died, and there was a kind of hole in my life because there was no Sega. So that was the natural cause to jump to Microsoft. Not really, but that was where Microsoft walked in. So prior to that, I was right into my Sega. So.
Did I hear you say you had a GameCube?
No, I never had a GameCube. I got a shot at a GameCube, and it was like flavour of the month, and then we decided they brought the Xbox on, and they had Halo, and we played for there. So.
Okay, great. Just wanted to clear that
No,
up.
not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay, question 2. Do you ever see yourself getting fed up with Halo? After all, it's just a shooty bang bang
Right,
game.
okay, Justin, take a seat. This is for a guy who's going to play a painty splodge game.
I'm not playing painty
No, but
splodge,
it's
okay?
like it's ironic because everybody on Thing in the News having a wee wank and going, oh, Splatoon, oh no, somebody stole a truckload of Splatoon. That is the worst thief ever. Of all the games ever to steal a truckload of Splatoon. It's like, not going to make money on that, mate. Sorry, that's really topical as well. But I just couldn't imagine the disappointment. Stole the truck of games, drove it out to the outskirts of some farm, opened the doors and went, yes, scored the Xboxes, PlayStations, The Witcher, maybe Project Cars, opened the door. It's full of Splatoon. It's just like, you can imagine, I can just imagine the guy opening the door and then the guy on his left hand side getting a bullet in his head for his stupidity. You know what I mean? Just like, why would you do it? But
travel through the future and talk to the 48-year-old Stuart and see his if his enthusiasm and anger for life has died down.
I don't think it has. I don't think it.
Because each his own. That's my motto. If I like Splatoon and you like Halo, that's fine
But
with me.
it's just ironic because the Splatoon fans hate first-person shooters. They hate shooters. They're fucking playing a shooter about painting. You know what I mean? It's the irony in fame. You know what I mean? It's like folk go, oh, COD's this, COD's that. This is totally tangent. We're not going there because that's for another week. But as you were saying, will I ever get bored of Halo? I'm being honest, I don't think so. They keep building the universe. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars was 3 films.
And there's a story to it as well.
There's so much
lore.
Yeah. There's just so much lore and myth and there's
so
books.
was Halo just made specifically for the Xbox.
Yeah. It
Like,
started,
was there
well,
any
Halo was
Halo
originally-
books before Halo?
No, Halo originally started as a PC Mac game. It was going to be an RTS, and then Microsoft bought Bungie, and it got built for the release of the Xbox. It was the system seller for the Xbox, because it did what GoldenEye did on the N64. Basically, it was one of the there's shooters through history that evolve the format. Doom evolved the format. GoldenEye evolved the format. Halo evolved the format. No matter what anybody says, it evolved it. And basically, that's why Halo Wars actually got made, in theory, because Halo was meant to be an RTS to start with. So the idea of it being a kind of real-time strategy game was the kind of core scenario, and the Spartan, or Master Chief, if you would, was originally going to be like your power unit, and then it evolved for that into a third-person shooter. And the third-person shooter just didn't sit well, and it didn't take, and then it finally evolved into a first-person shooter. So all of this is documented. I mean, there's like loads and loads of documentaries and videos. I think every Halo's came with a documentary about them making it, where they sit and they talk in depth, and they talk about how they did this and how they did that. There's shit tons of books. There's like an art of Halo, the creative direction of Halo. There's an encyclopedia of Halo. I'm looking about my bookshelf. There's loads of different stuff. You know what I mean? There's loads and you can get lost in it. There's hundreds of stuff on it. You know what I mean? Art books, fucking you name it. If you want to go further than the game, there's tons of stuff for you. And that's what I love about it. It's not just one thing. It's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Next question. How much have you spent on your obsession? Roughly.
Kind of did a wee jot, and somewhere between probably about 4 to 5 grand probably. That's just a kind of rough estimate. Looking about, because if you add it up, you're talking on the games alone, you're talking 100, 70. You're talking maybe like £600 on the games alone.
So you going by what you've said then, thousands of pounds on non-game related Halo.
Yeah, t-shirts, shoes, figures, models, mega blocks, pants, fucking anything and everything. That's the thing, it's all encompassing, but it's like key rings, dog tags, books, art books, soundtracks, DVDs, you know what I mean? It's everything.
Yeah. It's got it all angles covered, as they say.
It's like One Direction for gaming.
Yeah. Excellent. What's your next non-game Halo purchase? As you probably mentioned already.
As in, what am I going to buy that isn't Halo?
Well, no, that's it is Halo, but it's a
non-game.
Halo purchase. Yeah.
Probably the miniature tabletop X-Wing style fighting game, which is just announced its price, and it's £80. So I think I'm gonna maybe buy that. Maybe. Don't know if I'll play it, but I maybe play it.
Do you live in a big house?
No, not particular. I've got a big room for Halo stuff.
Does your parents ever make any comments about your Halo obsession? Like, as to say, because when I was younger, I used to have this obsession with jackets. So I'd come home from town, and my ma would say, "Not another bloody jacket." So, does your mum ever say, or your dad ever say anything about your?
No, because they tend not to say it. What's behind that door there? Stays behind that door there. But when I get t-shirts and stuff, they'll boycott. Is that a new t-shirt? Is that a new hoodie? Is that Halo? And when the adverts are on the telly when it's on, they're like, "Oh, have you got that one?" And they know fine well I've got it. You know what I mean? They're no stupid.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. And the last question, which is probably the best one yet: are you any good at Halo Online?
Yes, that's a silly question he asked.
It's not a silly question. You might like the Halo, but you might be shit at it.
Nah,
like I am.
Nah,
with most games.
we were bred in the fire. Me and Andy were bred in the fire together. So I play SWAT. We were playing SWAT this week, and I was saying to him, it's like SWAT is the most pinnacle of shooting. SWAT's like a Twitch shooter on steroids, because you see, you shoot, you die. You don't get any other chance. So you need to be like bump, 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 bump. You need to be pin sharp, razor sharp, ready on the point to the headshot. Because if you're no, they will be. And it's like the best training tool in the world, I feel, because I can play SWAT and then go into normal modes and be like absolute beasting in it, because I just think it is like it is like the ultimate Twitch shooter. Twitch shooters are like, oh, you need to be like really precise and stuff. Well, it's just the same thing, but in the Halo world, where you need to be, you either put them down or they'll put you down. And I was playing it yesterday, and I was going like 21-5 and 28-3 and stuff. So I'm decent at it. I can hold my own. You know what I mean? I'm decent. If you're on a good machine with a good connection and stuff, then we're good. As for co-op and stuff, campaign and stuff, I really enjoy it, you know what I mean? It's great. Always love Capture the Flag, always fucking good memories of Capture the Flag with my brother. Fucking, me and my brother are fucking horrific. Like, we're a force to be reckoned with Capture the Flag. I used to go Among Us, and my brother used to jump on the back with the flag, and we used to gun it, and it was the greatest feeling ever, man, you know what I mean? You and your brother fucking scoring flags and shit in Halo and fucking taking the piss out of folk at the same time. Oh, it's what gaming's about, you know what I mean? It's like, the greatest moments were them moments, you know, like him running with the flag and me killing the guy who's just going to jump in to get him, and him planting the flag. And it's the same way Andy used to get me, Andy and him in it, and we used to be brilliant. And it's just, it's camaraderie. COD's good and all that's good, but when you play Halo and you're playing Halo and you're really liking Halo, it's unbeatable, you know what I mean? It's so good. But that's just the way I feel about it, you know what I mean? But then I feel that way.
Yeah, cool.
It's like I feel that way about like stuff like Crisis and Battlefield. You know what I mean? It's the love moves. The core love is for Halo, but Crisis I have a lot of love for. I have a lot of love for Battlefield as well when they move up and down. You know what I mean? Halo love is quite strong now because there's a new Halo coming. Next year when there's no new Halo coming, Crisis might, they'll probably know, but the Battlefield love will be high because there'll maybe be a new Battlefield. You know what I mean? And it just varies, but all the time. Like, it's like right now I'm listening to Hunt the Truth podcast. If you're into Halo, you should really listen to it. It's fucking phenomenal. It's 15 to 20 minute long podcasts they've done every week. I think it is for the last 8 weeks, and it's like an audio book, but it's so high production and it's such high production and so well done. It's a treat. It really is a treat if you like Halo, and even if you don't like it, or you're not really into it, a lot of people I know are rusting it and saying they're really enjoying it because it's letting them see how vast the universe is. Because that's the thing, not all stories, like, Master Chief is a character, he's the main protagonist, but he's not the end all. There's so much more out there. There's like Oni, like stories about Oni guys, there's stories about Elver Spartans, there's stories about ODST teams, there's stories about scientists. I mean, there's so many stories in the one under the umbrella, you know what I mean? Fuck, the first comic was a big letdown for a lot of people. First comic's about 2 people who survived the New Mombasa attack. New Master Chief's in it, maybe 4 or 5 panels for the whole comic, but it's really just about the 2 protagonists trying to survive the New Mombasa invasion, you know? And I think that's amazing, is the fact that they've set up this fundamental shooter, but they're crafting tales for a galaxy out of it, you know what I mean? Yay.
Yeah, fair. Nice one. Thank you, Stuart.
No, that was easy.
That wasn't too bad.
That was a patch on last month.
No, that won't be repeated again. Okay, let's move on to the voting results. Yes, the votes are in, but there's yet more controversy to come, as usual. Okay, let's do this. Are we
going to do it like the election? Are we going to do I'm from West Ayrshire, number of votes tallied 1,250, number of votes void 8.
We had some cruel people voting in. The following people voted for Max Payne on hard mode: Adam Ducker, never talking to you again, Chris Mohan, and Dave at Burta1. They voted for punishment Max Payne on hardest mode. So that's a total of 3 points. Thank you very much.
Now to go over to Finland.
Why me?
Let's go over.
It was
Thank you,
Eurovision
Matt.
the other night. Topical.
I was going to say that's why we're crossing over now to Switzerland. Connor in Switzerland, are you there? Guten Tag.
Connor,
Yes, can you hear me?
Guten Tag.
Connor, who voted for roast my Yoshi?
Good morning.
I don't actually know who voted
You're
for
fucking, it's in the
Yoshi.
tab. It's in the
not
next
fucking
tab.
show notes.
It's in the tab.
Oh,
the
you're
next tab.
confusing me, putting it in another tab. Oh,
Well, I had to
Jesus.
do it there, man. Come on, it's clearer there.
Right, okay. So, who voted for Yoshi to be cooked? Well, it had 5 votes, and those voters were Kevin Atkinson, Martin Kelly, William Thompson,
Yeah.
Adrian Garlike, and @Groovy Dave.
There's another 3 I'm taking off my friends list. And next, this is probably the most topical one, so we'll let Stuart do this one. Stuart, you can't see the Collie's Confessions tab,
No,
can
I
you?
need. No, you'd be easier doing it because I'm on my phone and it would involve me.
Okay,
in the arse 'cause I
right.
can't use
Matt,
it.
Matt, do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll read it out.
Hold
Good
on,
lad.
going over to man
Voting.
in Helsinki. Are you there, Helsinki? Calling Helsinki.
From Wales.
Calling Cardiff. Are you there?
Right, voting for buying all 3 of us a new game. Simon Stevens, Simon Barron. I'll say Welsh Benno, despite the fact you spelt that wrong.
Is that no
Colm.
you? Is that no you as a double ganger?
Justin Knowles, Andrew Collins, Sam Gowith, and @Bino.
Grant, thank you very much. Now, here's where the controversy
That's 7, by
comes
the way.
into
That's
play.
the most. Yeah, 7. That's more than the other 2. That's 7. 7. That's more than 5 and more
Thank
than
you.
3. That
Yes, but here's where the twist.
Thanks
Here's
for
where
the
the
maths
twist.
lesson.
always here to
Here's
help.
where the twist is caught. Thank you, Matt. Go
That's
back to
all
your
right.
drink, please.
Anytime.
Here's where the twist is. Now, you 3 lads get the chance to vote.
I've just realised, is Colm being Terry Wogan for this part?
he's embodying the Irishman that is Terry Wogan.
I am. Except I don't have a wig on my head. So,
Somebody get him one
lads,
quick.
We can sort that out. Quick, send Colm a rug.
okay. So, Matt, what do you vote for? Another beer, I know, but apart from that,
Bugger, there's me punchline gone.
Was treading on each other's lines today.
I was quite looking forward to a melted amiibo myself, to be honest.
okay, so that's... Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put my vote in for that just because visually I thought that would have been quite good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt. Connor, what do you vote for?
Can we just put that in brackets? Can we put that in brackets and put it in really big brackets so those even with the hardest of sight see it? You chose for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you told me I wasn't being harsh enough. So, I decided to be
Order!
exceptionally
Order in the
freaking
court of
harsh.
Collie, please. Order.
Oh.
Judge.
I was-
Now.
So
Okay.
for a £15 amiibo, or 35 quid or however
It would
much
be
you spent on
about
these amiibos.
75 to £80 right now at current prices.
Exactly. So I, as much as I don't like the idea of destroying things, I actually do quite want to see that amiibo on toast. So I'm voting for Yoshi on
I
toast.
feel like Yoshi tonight.
Now, this is going to be good. So it's 773. Stuart, what do you vote for?
Well, I really do fancy Mortal Kombat. You know, I really do. I like the Scorpion moves. I like the new characters, and I like all of that. I like how Sonya, what's her name, fucking Cage Junior takes selfies and that. But as we all knew, I was the one that picked the fucking barbecue, and I've bought a special apron, and I've bought a special hat, and I've bought some utensils.
Brilliant.
You know what I can smell coming, boys? We're having a
Is something
We're gonna
cooking?
fucking have ourselves an Angel Harriet special. No cheese toast.
So there you go, lads.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
That's it. That was an unforeseen result there, was it? See, if you actually listen, you can actually hear three folks sigh with relief.
So thank you, lads. That's going to be coming up on Sunday Roast this Sunday.
Also,
Sunday Roast
I'll
starring Yoshi.
pick the winner.
As a bit of warning, Don't try it at home, anybody else, and make sure you've got your windows and door open, because that's gonna stink out your kitchen.
I think I'll do it down in the mother-in-law's, because her oven her oven has a see-through glass thing.
Always think
A glass thing there. So I'll be doing that Sunday,
And
I'll be
thank you for
uploading the
we'll
video.
pick the
She will.
we'll pick the winner of the competition who wins £15 credit on their store of choice: Steam, Nintendo, PSN, or Xbox Live, and the 2 Smite codes will also get picked at the same time, and we'll get tweets out to you some point once this show airs, because we're not going to do it before the show's launched. So a few days after that, whoever wins it will be notified, and we'll do tweets and stuff, and you can be all happy.
Thank you, lads. So the Sunday roast with Yoshi.
Can you put some
will
turnips
come
on it?
this
Can you
Sunday.
put them in with the turnips? You know what I mean? Here you go, Yoshi. What's that? What's that for dinner? It's Yoshi and turnips. Smell.
Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it next Sunday, because the podcast will be out then.
Smells like bear shit, if you ask me.
I don't know what accent that was, but I liked it.
It wasn't Colm being his usual self. Me lucky charms. You never know. You might burn Yoshi and 2 might appear. You know? It's one of those. You burn 1, you 2 appear.
Thank you, lads.
He's fell asleep.
Now,
What
onto
the
the
holy
favourite.
fuck was that?
Oh my!
I have no idea.
It wasn't me.
As Colm fell out, fainted for the result.
It might have been
Is
Liz.
Cullen died of shock?
Dublin, come in. Are you there, Dublin?
Has he gone to get some
Is he
salt and
actually
pepper?
doing it right now? Is he skewering it? Is he just a skewer going through him?
No, he's throwing it out the window and going to claim that he can't find it anymore.
he's made it run away. Run away.
Yeah.
Go now, go. Be safe.
Be free!
He's washing it. He's
Well,
washing
see,
him in the
while
toilet.
we wait for him to
He's flushing it like a drip
while we wait for him to come back, seems the perfect time for a potty pit stop.
Oh, he's trying to flush it. Can't he fit it in the toilet? Can't he go?
It keeps coming back up.
Oh dear. You just imagine that wee Yoshi face staring up at you.
It's like an embarrassing dump at the in-laws when you're like, oh, I really do need to go, and it just won't go. Just won't flush. He just keeps popping his little head back up like, haha, I'm not going yet.
I would suggest he gets a blowtorch and just blowtorches them. You know what I mean? Just put some marshmallows next to him and just blowtorches them. And then when he does it, he sends it to official Nintendo. Look what I did.
Hello.
He's back. He brought him back. The smelling salts worked.
Did it finally flush?
I did not. My connection did not drop. I don't know what was wrong there. Now it wasn't me. Was I the only one that dropped?
We thought you'd fainted.
Yes. Oh, have a listen through that bit, mate. It's fantastic.
Quality
classic,
gold.
yeah,
There's some
thanks,
quality
lads.
gold.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we all back?
Okay.
now? Yeah, sorry, I'm back.
So
I didn't
That's
go
got
anywhere.
quick, dude.
No, you were nowhere. Have you seen that? You vanished.
Did I?
Yeah, you were trying to track down Yoshi.
Okay,
You
lads.
were checking the pipes to see if he was flashing by.
Exactly. I was checking the shop.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Matt, I'll be looking forward to one of your plasticine models of a Yoshi.
You know what? I've stocked up on so much of that stuff just to replace him, Colm.
Thank you.
They are fantastic. We need
There is-
more of this. I
Yeah.
think every time a new amiibo's announced, you should reveal this.
There is no more green at Toys R Us.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks, lads. Listener email. Let's move on, please. As they say, there's nothing else to see here, apart from a Sunday roast. Okay, who wants to read out Trevor Phillips, sorry. Trev McPhillips, where'd I get that?
Mick Phillips.
I think Matt.
Channeling your Irish nature. Everyone's got a Mac in front of their name.
Be Jesus, boy. Anyway, top of the morning to you. Matt, do you want to do this
Oh, I'll
one?
do the short one. Brilliant.
No, I mean, do you want
That's
to do
what
the
she
whole
said.
lot? Agony aunt.
Peter Dinklage is
Right.
in danger.
So right, I'll do this one then. So this is from Trevor Phillips. Hi guys, thought I'd drop you a quick mail of support for your challenge this year. Clearly you're all masochists, and Colm, 2 years mate, really? Though I can't really talk, I did agree to take part in the Year of Shame 1, flagellating myself for a year. Now you've all been going through your piles of shame for a while. Have you come across a game that you now realise why it was on your pile because it was absolute shite? For example, Duke Nukem Forever. Shortly to have Alien Isolation added to it. I know it's a good game, it's just the Alien IA, or clairvoyant ability to find you that drives me mad. Before I go, I'll vote for number 1 Max Payne, if this mail makes it in time. I can't vote 2, don't really want to see a grown man cry over his little toy being burnt. And I can't vote for 3, because of the shite DLC to win model. Keep it up, guys. It is worthwhile. I know that I took some good things from the experience and probably don't purchase nearly as much as I did in the past. Or I'm a little bit more selective these days, though PSN Plus does not help. Thanks, Trevor, for that email. I've got plenty of games that are on my pile that are absolute shite, and I realise why I've never played them, but played them I will.
and lads, you don't suppose
I've already
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
ad nauseum about my disdain for
shut
Max
your
Payne
hole.
3.
Yeah.
And
Shut up.
I don't want to rattle a Scotsman's cage by bringing it up
There you go.
again,
Okay.
even though it is
There,
utter
if you want
pish.
revenge on fucking burning Yoshi, I've got a Max Payne statue that I don't think would fit in my oven, but you could always, if I ever broke it, you could like, burn your Max Payne. No chance.
Oh, we may come back to that.
I mean, what I will say on the point that he's raised there is certainly when I've come away from console gaming and to be more of a PC gamer than anything, because of the endless sales and the endless bundles and the endless cheap stuff, that I have added more crap to my pile than I would ever have done being just a console gamer. Because you kind of think, well, it's only 50p, and even if it's crap, it'll be 50p's worth. I think if I didn't have a decent PC, I don't think I would have a far less shite games than I probably do have.
You do strike me as someone says to you, "Hey, I've got something for you. Give me 50p." And you're like, "Yeah, okay, it's 50p. Here's a crap in your hand."
Hey,
Because that's kind of the equivalent of what's going on.
For my wife, I'd just go down the aisle that was like buy one get one free. Matt, you bought 2 mops. Why do you need 2 mops? Well, what? One of them was free.
no, but Colm needs a wig.
I'll have the free one, and I'll send you the other one.
Colm needs a wig.
Thanks,
so,
sir.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, anything free, it's just it doesn't matter to me whether I want it or it's any good, or it could be something that make my PC blow up, and I'd look at it and think, well, maybe it won't, and I'll get it.
Yeah. I can relate to that, Matt. I can relate to that. But it's certainly saying that you've definitely had more than your 50 pence worth tonight.
Yeah, and I would say I've also, not only have I got shite games on my pile, I'm proud to admit that I will buy plenty more shite in the years to come.
Good lad. So it's nice to see that the Year of Shame won't change you then, will it?
Nope, I love shite.
Hence, that's why he's gone to the toilet 3 times since this podcast started.
Cheap shite, mind.
Anyway.
Not expensive stuff.
I'm in agreement with Trevor. I don't classify it as shite, but I do classify it as shite. But Isolation, just it's the only game on the challenge so far I've played that I'm not struggling with, but I'm just kind of like I can't take it in big bursts. It's just it does my nut in too much. You know what I mean? So I don't want to label it shite because I'm not finished it. And I do enjoy it when it works, but then again, something arrived today. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. That came in the post with Stylistic Puppy, which may change all of that, but more of that later.
Classic. Excellent. Okay, so will I read the next one then? God help
You
us
do
all.
it in your best Irish accent.
Yeah, you can do.
Okay. Top of the morning to you, lads. It's Cy Stevens
He said
here.
Irish.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
I didn't say leprechaun.
Fuck off.
I said Irish.
Oh, I thought,
All
I
right,
thought it
I'll
was
do
Indian,
in a
sorry.
rough. I'll do it in me rough Dublin accent. All right.
There we go.
Cy Stevens here. Hi guys. I sat and thought about it after sending you a few tweets that the medium of Twitter
I'm a little bit aroused.
really,
I'm waiting for him to
really
say. I'm
doesn't.
waiting for him to say. You're on your horse. Get on your horse.
I sat and thought about after sending you a few tweets that the mention of Twitter really doesn't do what you were doing justice. So I thought let's send them a short email that will no doubt turn what? Turn the fucking page. Oh shit.
Thanks for that,
Turn
Bono.
into.
I
Sorry,
was gonna
I
say
have it
Bono.
on text. Hold on, wrapped text.
I'd
Okay,
start
I've
that
got wrapped
again and
text.
I'd drop
Okay,
your
Start again.
accent.
I'll just do
normally.
read it normally.
Read it
Thank you,
normally.
lads. Cy Stevens. Hi, guys. I sat and thought about it after sending you a few tweets that the medium of Twitter really doesn't do what you were doing justice. So I thought, let's send them a short email. Short me arse. That will no doubt turn into some sort of extended rambling. First off, you were all feckin' idiots. Me, Darren,
Yep,
Jace.
agreed.
Me, Darren, Jace, and Terry were stupid enough to do this, as it sounded like a good idea when we went into a discussion after some idiot posted a comment about the size of his pile of shame. Yeah, sorry, that was from me. Nothing had been done before us, so we really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. However, saying that, although we did it in the golden age of the last gen, we were clever enough to do the time. Are you? Oh, fuck. I know, I can't.
Matt, take your. Matt,
Do you want me
hit
to
To
do it?
read it.
Yeah,
Get the
sorry,
drunk guy.
Matt. Sorry.
Get the drunk
go
guy
on.
to read it.
What's the worst that can happen? All right. Do you want to have another bash, Colm, or do you want me to do it?
You're so much nicer than me.
All right, I'll give it a go. Right, this is from Cy Stevens. Hi guys, I sat and thought about it after sending you a few tweets that the medium of Twitter really doesn't do what you were doing justice. So, thought let's send them a short email that will no doubt turn into some sort of extended rambling. First of all, you're all feckin' idiots. Me, Darren, Jason, Terry were stupid enough to do this, as it sounded like a good idea when we went into a discussion after some idiot posted a comment about the size of the pile of shame. Yeah, that was me. Nothing had been done before us, so we really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. However, saying that, although we did it in the golden age of last gen, we were clever enough to do our year of shame to finish the month before next gen dropped. After seeing what we went through, a merry band of two stubborn and determined men, and Colm, decided that they too could rise to the challenge. Although a little silly, it was in the first year of next gen, which is always a quiet period for any new console, summed up by all the HD versions of already HD games, although Colm decided quite quickly that he was in fact doing the buy all of the things challenge. Now this comes to you, Motley Crew. You've seen what it takes. You've seen what it has been like in the last 2 years, and the releases for next gen are really starting to kick in, with at least one release each month to tempt you. Either you're all in a constant state of being drunk, yeah, or I go back to my original statement, you're all feckin' idiots. And this is where the tale becomes sad. The challenge does change your habits. However, with all the free things and the occasional purchase when the price hits the sweet spot of £20, there are still too many games to play. I have just retired the PS3 to the loft completely, and the 360 only has 2 games left, Mass Effect 3 and Defiance. Although all I ever do on that one is fucking update the thing and give up and play something else. Stay giving up, it really isn't worth it. So left with just 4 main formats, PC, Vita, PS4 and Xbox One, I already have a total of 213 unique games, and according to my howlongtobeat.com profile, that is going to take me 150 days, 8 hours and 30 minutes to complete. When you consider I get about 2 to 3 gaming hours a night max between kids getting to bed and wife getting home from work, having to go to bed for work the next day, that it means it will actually take me 3,608.5 hours to complete all my games, or with my playtime taken into consideration, 4 fecking years. And that's just the main campaign up to the credits. I share your pain, Si. But anyway, that wasn't why I was emailing you. I have a couple of theories for Judge Rinder to preside over.
Well, fitting you're reading this then.
Yeah, exactly. Feel free to interject and plead your case. Theory 1. Stuart's burger story is unrivaled in Year of Shame history, and this is an achievement in itself when you consider Terry and his lottery friend. Stuart said he had a good burger, a pepper burger. Now, I'm not doubting the authenticity of some of the story, but I've had burgers at the Braehead Centre on a few occasions. In fact, I stopped there when driving from John O'Groats to anywhere south of Glasgow for those very burgers, and they are quite simply amazing burgers. The only time they are not amazing burgers is if you can't really remember the burger as you're distracted by something else, such as convincing someone of something. Just saying. Theory 2.
No, well, let me finish. Am I the famous up?
Yeah. By all means, step in. I need a drink.
Well, while I step in, I'll take the chair. Now, I classified that as a good burger because me and my girlfriend are patrons of many a burger place. In Glasgow, you have the likes of Gourmet Burger Kitchen, Handmade Burger Kitchen, Five Guys, Jack Vitaliani's, Bread Meets Bread, Burger Meets Bun, Ketchup, Lebowski's. These are all excellent burger places. So there's a league called the Burger League. It's the League of Burgers. And at the moment, at the top of the tap, if I was at Jack Vitaliani's and I was there, I would have said it was an amazing burger. Because that is an amazing burger. But as it stands, the Handmade Burger Company at Braehead is a good burger. But it's not the best burger in Glasgow. And that is why it's a good burger, not an amazing burger. I rest my case.
Order. Continue on, please, Judge.
Theory 2. Connor has some form of blackmail evidence on all of you. I received 3 review copies and never heard the end of it in year 1. How many has this man had now?
Too many.
He clearly has photos of you all doing strange things to amiibos. Now, Connor sends me pictures of himself, so that's why I'm quite happy to have review codes.
Yeah, it's me pictures of me that tends to get me out of things rather than pictures of anyone else. No, I declared right at the very opening that I was going to be getting review copies. And I've been open and honest about any review copies I've received. So as far as I'm concerned, it's within my rules, so I am sticking to it. Stuart did mention something about donating an amount of money to charity, and I'm currently looking into doing that. So we'll have to watch this space.
I'm
on
up for that as well, because I'll throw
no.
some money in the pot for Tower of Guns when you get a PayPal set up or whatever it is.
Cool.
So
cool.
Don't stop sending the photos, Connor. I like them.
It's passing them on eBay.
Excellent.
That's why he keeps nipping off to the loo.
The light's better in there.
Of course it is.
Who podcasts in the dark? That's the question.
Exactly. Right, theory 3. I fully understand why Colm has taken the amiibos under his wing. It's not the cuteness or the fact that they give you things in games, or even that being a form of physical DLC. It's a way around the DLC ban. Oh no, I believe that when someone said amiibo to Colm, he thought they said potato, and he wants to buy them and store them in case of another famine.
Jesus! Oh, Christ!
Well, where you play the racial card. So fair.
How many calories do you think are in an amiibo, Colm?
You could do a proper scientific experiment like GCSE biology or chemistry where you'd burn one and see how long it takes to burn.
These days, try and put 2 probes in it and see if it can power a clock.
Like a peanut.
He's been putting his 2 probes into his amiibos for far too long.
Stop it! Well, I would just like to say that a cooked amiibo will have more calories than a non-cooked one.
But a potato...
Or less calories,
But
so
a
to say.
potato will last
Potato
forever.
is very versatile, like an amiibo. It's very
But
versatile.
who would win in a fight between a turnip and a potato? A potato-turnip fight?
A potato, obviously.
But no, it won't. A turnip would take it. A turnip's a root vegetable. A tough vegetable. It's a vegetable.
I see the potato wins because they're waffly versatile.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Captain Spud. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so we'll
who you'd think
do
win?
a calorie
Whose team are you
count
on?
for
Team
amiibo.
potato or team turnip?
Oh, potatoes win every time. I'm Irish, man.
Oh, that's it.
Potatoes and
Listeners,
Guinness.
It's another vote. It's a voting kind of month for this, isn't it? Which team are you? Are you on my team turnip or his team potato? Who will get mashed?
Okay, move on, please.
Right, question time. Do you have any plans to do a month-long community involvement game a la Floppy February, when we all played Saints Row 3.
Is that no
Good
use
morning.
for the
Good
pints?
morning. Are there any games on all of your lists? I mean, to be honest, I think we've discussed about playing a game that we've all got on our lists. Involving the community might be a good idea.
We all get Grand Theft Auto.
I've got Grand Theft Auto 5.
I don't have it.
I've got 5, but on PS3.
There's always one, isn't there?
I don't have it.
I don't have Grand Theft Auto because it involves killing people. I only like playing games that are cute and squiddy. You know what I mean? Paint, splodge.
If anybody has a Mario game now, I'm up for that.
I don't have a Mario game because I...
Well, Colm's been doing his bit on Mario
Don't have
Kart.
Mario Kart.
So, yeah, I think we may well have some kind of group involvement. People can jump on with whatever. It'll probably be all on different formats, since most of us play on various machines.
I think at some stage it would be nice if we all
can do
play
something.
the same game. Just to share.
I
some
have
experiences.
Titanfall.
Yeah, but...
I did,
have
but it
Titanfall.
lagged up every 5 seconds, so it went off.
Does anybody have Dungeon Siege 3?
No, but you've got 4
No, but
copies.
I use it to fuel the car.
You've got 4 copies. It's like, I've got 4 copies here. Would you like a copy of Dungeon Siege?
I love that game. That would be my ultimate dream, to have you all on Dungeon Siege. It's 4-player co-op, by the way.
Yeah. Well...
That's not going to happen then, I take it.
No, it is not.
I have Halo
Well,
on the Xbox 360.
I don't think the two of them have Halo because one of them's a PlayStation.
I have
owner.
Halo on the Xbox 360.
But he owns a PlayStation. If he's got Halo, I'll eat my hat. And he's not getting to play Killzone and pretend it's Halo because that's just not happening. That's like trying to serve somebody brown in water and calling it Bisto.
We'll figure something out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we do intend to play the same game 1 month just to compare notes.
Borderlands. Borderlands. Everybody's got Borderlands.
Moving on to...
No, I don't.
I've got Borderlands 2. I
So
think
far.
that's one that's nearly appeared on every format going.
I know.
Free, so...
Connor,
We'll see.
Connor must have a copy of Borderlands 2 lying somewhere.
I have, yeah. Got both of them for
Yeah, exactly.
Plus,
I've got it on...
It's only Mr.
Every
Nintendo
format
that only
now,
have it.
so-
Do you have Borderlands 2?
I had it on Plus, but my Plus ran out.
Oh, well. Nah.
That sounds like a rap song, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In your head, yes.
I had it on Plus, but my Plus ran out. Yeah, okay, whatever. Move on, please.
It's quite a short song. It's maybe not Snoop Dogg quality, but you know.
It certainly sounds like next year's Irish
Yeah,
entry
exactly.
for Eurovision.
We've won that more times than anybody else, okay?
You're welcome to it.
Somebody's going to do it.
Okay,
Right,
great.
it's Si's next question. What are your feelings on cross-buy games? Are they 1, 2, or even 3 games? Personally, for me, if they are cross-save, that equals 1 game. However, cross-buy is a single game on each format. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I've listed my pile of shame, I've discounted any duplicates because there are a lot. When I looked before the show, my current pile is 743. I've discounted 222 duplicates. So, we are just shy of 1,000. But if I complete a game on one format, I'm not going to play it through on another format. I just do not see the point. So I'm counting 1 game, no matter how many formats I own now. 1 game is 1 game.
Yeah, I'm the same as that. I've got a hand for stuff that was HD'd, but it's realistically the course format hangs for the PlayStation crowd. You know what I mean? The everybody else doesn't get. You know what I mean?
Well, Nintendo are doing it now.
I don't know.
Ollie Ollie.
That's what Colm said about Ollie Ollie's, the first one.
Yeah.
There's a few others that are coming
but
as
it's
well.
mainly a PlayStation thing, what you say. You know what I mean, you get it when all 3
It
of them,
is,
don't
yeah,
you?
mostly. I mean, with a lot of the PC stuff, they bundle that up, and then I'm finding now a lot of the PS Plus stuff is PC games that I've had for a while. So I still add it to my pile because
It's free.
that's what I do. Yeah, but it's just 1 game to me. So
For me, it depends. If it's got separate trophy lists, then I'll probably play it on the different formats. If it's 1 trophy list, then I probably won't. I'll probably just stick to 1 or maybe use the cross save and bounce between like the PS4 and the Vita until it's done.
Yeah, well, then I'm officially mental because I bought Dungeon Siege on every platform ever known to man.
I mean, I said this on your Year of Shame challenge too. I think I emailed you guys and said, "There's one thing breaking your challenge. There's another thing breaking it by buying a Dungeon Siege game." There wasn't anything left on the bottom of the barrel for you to be scraping it when you bought it.
It's dark down here at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, that's all I can say for that one. It's very dark. I know. Yeah, so there you go.
So Si closes off by saying, "Much love to you all, and good luck to Colm for making it through to the next weekend without buying a game." And he'd be right to say that.
Thanks for the support, lads.
I'm with you all the way, Colm.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. So who wants to read the last one? Have a slurp of beer there, Matt.
I have been.
He's got a straw.
Okay, Grant. Okay.
Yeah.
I drink my beer for a straw.
Okay.
La-dee-da.
La-da-da-da-dee.
Do you want... Connor, do you want to do the last one?
Yeah, I'll do the next one.
Yeah.
Next one's from Justin Dan Ragnar.
Who has played
Knowles.
devil's advocate this month?
Hi guys,
by the
just
looks of things, but we shall see.
Just don't spoilers. Come on. Just throwing some scenarios at you. How do the following fit into your Year of Shame rules and/or personal rules? E.g., someone lending you a copy of their latest shiny new game may be allowable within the Year of Shame rules, but you may say no anyway, as you want to work at clearing
I don't
your
have any
pile of
friends
shame.
who have money to buy new games, which is a real shitter, because I used to be the one who used to buy all the games and they got away it for me. So I know poor people, so I'm fucked. Next.
Yeah.
And I don't have any friends, so there you go.
Well, that's clear.
I like you a little bit, Colm.
Thanks.
But he doesn't like you enough to send you an amiibo.
And that's after 5 cans of beer. He likes me a little.
Yeah.
That's
Not a
Tesco's.
lot.
That's Tesco's finest smart price beer.
Okay, Grant.
So for me, maybe I'd be tempted, but I'd probably turn
Just
around
get the
and say
review.
no.
You'll just get the review.
There is
copy.
people that would lend me games, but yeah, I'll just get a review instead.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. Well, I don't have anyone that would lend me a game anyway. But I've sort of.
If you want Dungeon Siege 3, I can give you a lend of it.
Yeah. No, you're all right.
You asked, man.
You're all right. My pile's so big that I don't think I've given up on clearing it. The pile of shame from the PS Plus games with gold is probably going to be slightly bigger than it was when I started the challenge. Maybe the same. So my objective for this year has never been to clear the pile, because it's not going to be possible. But it's just to play games that I've bought, I've spent money on in the past and never played, and it's almost a kind of trying to justify the money I've spent and get some enjoyment out of stuff I have spent money on. So I wouldn't borrow a game at the minute just through that. I've got so many games to get through that there doesn't seem any need to borrow anything.
Okay, on to the next one. Your primary console breaks and needs to be replaced. You walk into the store and see the following 3 options. 1. Base console. 2. Console plus game for the same price as base console. 3. Console plus 5 great games worth $250 or for only $50 more than the base console. Which, if any,
I
do
choose
you
4.
buy?
Phone them up and get my warranty and send it away. Or is that too much of common sense? Sorry. Well, mine's still under warranty, so I don't need to worry.
Mine's just out of warranty, so I maybe do need to worry a little bit. I don't know.
I'll let you know how I get on next weekend when I break my Xbox One and go in and get a PS4. Okay, I'll let you know then.
He's actually going to use his Xbox One as the bacon tray for his Yoshi.
I've got a thing. Maybe pulling the other Justin from the Justin.
Oh,
and
that's
Justin
a great show. Have you ever heard the Justin show?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, lads.
Matt, have you ever heard that show? It's a great show.
What he did last.
I have indeed.
He did last year.
They're good, aren't they?
What he did.
Brilliant.
They're actual artisans at podcasting. These
Justin. I need a drink.
J&J fan base is huge.
I would be tempted to take option 3 and do a Justin and not play any of the games that I got for $50 more until after my year of shame had
trust you
ended.
enough to do that. You know what I mean? If we were on the cast with him as well, I would.
You can check my trophy. You can check my trophy count. I'll
You'd
soon
set
tell
up a
you.
fake profile and stuff. You know what I mean? These things are known. You know what I mean?
I've been honest all the way through
I'm
this.
not
I'm not suddenly going to become
I'm not saying
dishonest.
suspecting you. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? There are ways to get through the net.
There's enough failure in this podcast without everybody else.
We're trying to
failing, okay?
We're trying to shine a shot light. A shot light. That's like a shotgun in a light. That's a shot light. We're trying to put a shot light on columns.
Matt, will you stop sharing your beers with the Scotsman?
It's getting pissed through
Jeez.
proxy. Pissed through proxy.
Yeah, that's mercies
Oh,
via
God.
Skype.
Okay, go on.
Right, you. Is it everyone else?
I would go for option 2 because by those options, that one game is free, and we've clearly discussed
Yeah.
earlier that free means I own it.
Doesn't he care about actually playing the games? He just
Oh
buys
God,
them.
no! It just makes the number go. I'm quite proud of my pile of shame. That number's bigger. Like I've said on an earlier episode,
You're like
I like to be the kid at school that goes in with a pile of sticker swaps, and I've got the biggest pile of swaps in the school.
you're like the alternate version of
Brilliant.
me. I want gamer score. You just want games.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, yeah, I won't hide
Score
it
of
anymore.
games.
Yeah, I've got a little spreadsheet where the number goes up, and I'm proud. It's ridiculous.
Got to break 2,000 by the end of the month. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, when I was just discussing one of the earlier questions about, I thought, but if I count duplicates, that makes that number go up even more. Maybe I should count those.
They're not fucking Pokemon. You're not trying to
Imagine
collect
if
them
they
all.
were. Imagine if they were.
There'll be
Or
no
amiibos.
There'll be no difference.
Ooh.
You'd still have a big number, you know what I mean?
You'd have an X and Y version
then-
of Steam, and you'd have to
And
buy
then
both
imagine
of them.
that pile, if I could get golden versions of every game on that pile as well.
Shiny.
Like special edition.
Shinies. Oh, yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah, imagine like
That's
you
it.
look on your Steam list and like you've got the normal version of the game and that's just in the normal sort of grey, greeny font kind of thing, and then you've got one on there that appears in the like golden sparkling font. Oh, that'd be special.
I hope Valve aren't listening to this.
I kind of hope they are.
Jeez.
We'll just send it to Game Wogan
Yeah.
will get a wee surprise.
Yeah, I must admit, I talked earlier about reasons that I played games. One of them was which has those ridiculous Steam trading cards on, so I could collect more of those cards.
Ah, dear.
My wife loves me.
I'm sure she
does.
does. I'm sure there's somebody for everybody apart from Colm. But, you know, it's...
And I love you long time for one amiibo.
Love you twice, long time for two. For a gold Mario, I'd be there forever. I'd blow quicker than a tie hooker. That's for sure.
Bring this podcast down to the depths of repute like I normally do, so I'm happy.
Well, we start pretty low anyway, so you're fine.
Is there no more
Yeah,
questions?
and I'm sober.
You see on Twitter that someone you follow had some spare game keys for a humble bundle for a game you're interested in. Do you take
Fuck
up
yeah.
that offer? No, because I don't do
Yeah, no as
Steam.
well, but then I would question the person if they had the code. Because I would say to my friend, in passing on this, I wouldn't actually, I'd expect my friend to gift me it and go, oh, there's a game for you. And you'd be like, oh, thanks for the gift. You wouldn't have to beg your friend in question throwing up the, why are they your friend in the first place?
Well, that's why I'm glad I don't have any friends then.
Well, that's the current thing. This is actually the Lonely Hearts podcast.
Well, just to give an example of that same thing, I accidentally bought a PC game that I already owned and that I forgot I owned.
No. What number were we at on the list? Book?
Don't accidentally
No, I
own
did.
a
No,
game.
is this
Yeah,
what-
that's an excuse
No,
I would make
I
up
bought a
now.
game
Come
and I
on.
thought that's a good deal.
But was this duplicate
So I bought
200
it.
or 400?
No,
or
I
900?
didn't realise. Oh God, no! But I bought it and I thought that's a good deal. That price, that's a steal. Tried to redeem it on Steam and it wouldn't let me redeem it because it said you already own this game. You should think, oh, bollocks.
Brilliant.
So I thought I'd list it up on Twitter and go, by the way, I've got a code for this game that I've accidentally bought twice. Does anybody interested? I had 75 people ask for the code, none of whom were people on Twitter that I followed or followed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You used 75 people. I did a competition to win 2 Dirty Bomb codes. We get 7 retweets, and 3 of them were for staff. And then the 2 folk that won it couldn't use it. That was even more annoying. I was like, oh. It's like, you've won a prize you can't use. Here's a speedboat, but you're in the desert.
The world is full of greedy people.
I don't really call them greedy. I just say optimistic. Will put a disclaimer saying I don't have a PC for my own employees. You're just winning the code, not the PC. Oh, okay.
Okay, move on, please.
On to the next one. A collector's edition is announced for an upcoming game you love. Fallout 4, Mass Effect 4, Half-Life 3, awesome amiibo rubbish, with extremely limited numbers and some awesome tat. It comes out after the Year of Shame is over, but you have to put down a deposit today or it will sell out. Do you put down a deposit? I already had this conundrum with the Metal Gear Phantom Pain, and I didn't put down a deposit.
But he's saying you put the deposit down because
to.
it comes out after the Year of Shame. No, during your Year of Shame. So if Metal Gear came out the day after your challenge, then that would be alright, technically, because technically you're just future-proofing your purchase.
But you're still laying money out for a game
Depends who you
are going to
go
get.
with. Well, I suppose if it's a deposit, I suppose. Because we're going to go certain companies, I think
it's the deposits
Game on PayPal don't take payment till the day of the release.
That's right, yeah. When I've pre-ordered stuff from them, yeah, they'll take the order, but they won't charge you until.
But
it's
Tesco's
released.
takes the money out of your account when you pre-order, which is quite cheeky.
Bit cheeky.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
Because
Cheeky.
it's like 8 months to the game was released, £90, thanks. So what did I do for 8 months with my £90? Nothing.
But let's go with the word of the question.
Don't
Would you
order
pay
through
for something that you really wanted if it came out next year?
If it came out next
No.
year,
I mean,
depends.
with us
when
being
does it
on a
come
year
out?
of shame.
Like, when is it coming out? Is it near my birthday? Is it near Christmas? You know what I mean? It's like,
Right. Who can you tap up to
basically,
pay
who
for
can
it?
you use as a Trojan horse? And basically go here, and they're like, "What's that?" It's like, just take it, pay the money, and be happy. You know what I mean? It's one of the ones you need to be specific with. You know what I mean? If there is like a drop dead, like, oh my god, I need that, then if it's near your birthday or Christmas, fair dues. If it's not near your birthday and Christmas, then greet hard, or hope that your friend is the best friend ever who existed. Ever.
That's me.
We don't have any friends, but
No, but you're my new best friend now.
I'm not your friend because I don't have any friends. Matt's gutted. Matt was like, I was your friend. No, he's like, no.
Yeah, I've got an imaginary friend.
Oh, that's
we're
good.
not get,
That's good.
we're not getting on.
Does he help you shake? Does he help you shake when you go?
This should be called the Nutters Podcast, man.
So again, I wonder this, man. We've been on this too long. We're going nuts.
Move
Right,
on,
we'll go
please.
to the next
it's
one.
time for my bed. Time.
It's time for my bed.
You notice a website is offering a chance to win a free copy of Insect Game You Want Here on your platform of choice if you answer their competition question in 25 words or less. Do you put in an entry? No,
Well,
can't be asked. 25 words
and
now.
the competitions are infinitely, like, it doesn't matter. You can enter as many competitions you like. It's technically infinitely, you've got no chance of winning. You know what I mean? It's like, the odds are against you by entering a competition. It's like,
Yeah,
Asda did
have a problem with that.
Argos did a Win the Witcher special edition, and
Your odds are higher by entering a competition than by not
Put it this way,
entering a
I retweeted the
competition.
Witcher one for the Witcher special edition, right? And I think it was like 75th to tweet it, right? And then passing, I looked at it, right? Do you know how many retweets that got before the end of the competition?
2,500.
4,500 retweets. 4,500 retweets. I don't think I'm going to win the Witcher special edition for Argos. You know what I mean? It's,
If you're not in,
Exactly.
you can't win, man.
but even then, 4,500 people. You know what I mean? You've got no
Well,
chance.
as long as it's a genuine competition, you've got a chance of winning.
Yeah.
I've
but
won.
then-
I've won a
that's what
copy
I'm
of
saying,
Call
I
of
don't mind
Duty.
then. I like entering a competition. Oh, I won fucking.
You've won
Battlefield
your
Hardline, you know
Doodad
what I mean?
Donuts.
Yeah, because I ate donuts. I had to take a picture of a donut and enter it. But competitions are free form for everybody because it's chance
just
and luck.
go
and
for it.
It's a gambling. You know what I mean? Just go away and see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't see how that's encrypted on the. It's like you're technically criminalising what if. You know what I mean? What if you win? But what if you don't? Well, nothing will happen. You know what I mean? So
Right, let's move on.
fucking.
Gambling's against my religion.
But potatoes are not.
And if insert game here would happen to be Dungeon Siege 4, I would enter automatically.
I just like the fact that insert
It says
game here
upcoming
should
game
be.
you love.
Can we copyright the word insert game here to rival Connor's favourite clothing company, and we could have like insert game here
We
clothing.
probably could if someone had already done it.
That'd be amazing. Insert game here.
Right, you want to sell some games, amiibos, gaming statues, etc., and now have $100 sitting in your PayPal account. If you use the money to buy a couple of games, that's basically the same as if you traded in at game, isn't it? Can you use the money to buy the games? Nope, because it's buying games. I'm not trading games.
Don't trade
Yeah.
or sell. So
Yep.
don't trade or sell. So nope.
No.
That died really quick. That question.
And lastly, one of our co-hosts buys 3 amiibos as recompense. He is prepared to buy you a copy of the latest Mortal Kombat. Is this allowed? Or is this a way of sneaking past the rules and adding to your own pile of shame without laying down the cold, hard cash? Wouldn't it be better if the co-hosts bought games for the listeners instead? Those who are not currently on a year of shame? ? Sticky out tongue face. Regards, your friends and prior YoS survivor, Justin, Dan, Ragnar, Knowles. I think we've answered that.
Well, that's a time paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would have happened if that would have happened? Who knows? It's a time paradox. Never happened. You know
I
what
mean, the thing to sum up there, if he's saying, can one of you deliberately fail the year of shame just so you know, well, there'll be a punishment that I have to buy the others one? I think all of us, apart from, I think we're all trying to stick to it as much as possible.
And I think, to be fair, we've probably scared the shit out of each other by threatening that someone will have to buy a game for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's a case, but a lot of folk have got their eye end of the stick with this as well, because the whole point is it's case-specific punishments to the person. The fact was, it was a punishment because he broke the rules. We, as the tribe, had selected the punishments, and then we allowed our peers to vote. Now, we didn't choose the fact that that would get the most votes, which it didn't, but at the same time, it wasn't. We just chose the punishments. So somebody could also have went, he has to streak through the streets of Dublin, he has to kill a newborn, and he has to sleep in a grave. You know what I mean? These could have been picked as well, maybe a bit heavy-handed, but you know what I mean?
Crikey, I'm so not buying anything for the rest of this year. Fuck, if they're the possible options, Jesus, man. And I thought I was fucking harsh. I was only getting him to buy 3 games, not slay a child and sleep in a fucking grave. Jeez, man.
But the thing is, it's like these were the choices we chose, and then the public chose. So it's not a case of get angry at us for the choices. We chose the choices. They chose the punishment, but we gave them options, and that was the whole point. Is we're here to give them options. But in the same breath was he broke the tribal code, and at the end of the day, past things maybe no have been that mindset, and they maybe have thought, oh, it's just a laugh, it's just this, oh, he's just a kid, you know what I mean, whatever. But this year,
I'm not a kid.
this year, I feel
I'm far from a kid.
it's not just like if I was to buy the Atlas, I think I would get the same punishment. Not the same punishment, but I would get case specific punishments to myself. So they would think up ways in me to be punished, and then the public vote would vote for that, and it's more trial by fire. And I think at the end of the day, in the whole, it's more a learner than experience. He has now learned that if he breaks, he has to pay in some way, shape or form, and that's no saying pay as in monetary value, or that he has to either pay by time, or melting a loved companion, or buying games, you know what I mean? But people got hung up on it. That was really irritating me. It was the fact that people got hung up. They really got hung up on it. And to be honest, it's a bit shocking that it took us to that level to get the interaction with people, some people, about this cast, you know what I mean? It took it to the limits of what we've been, because it was pretty brutal, you know what I mean? But it was the fact we got to that level before people would come out the woodwork and start, and then it was really interesting, you know what I mean, once it came out, because they all got defensive. But they never ever realised that it was the public's fault. So technically, they voted for it. It wasn't us. We did. Everybody said to vote for equally. So the public voted. So you're really angry at the people who listen to this podcast for actually wanting to educate them through the punishment. You know what I mean? Tough love. That's what it's all about, guys.
Yes. Tough love from Mel Colley. Anyway, who's vaping?
Not me at the moment. Someone's breathing into their...
Somebody
someone's
on an
breathing
oxygen
into their
machine or
mind.
something.
Matt,
Somebody on an oxygen
No,
machine
I'm
or
a
something.
good foot away from my mic, so I doubt it's me.
All right. Okay, well, I always like to moan about the quality of the level of noises, so you know me.
Did you go through a full episode without
Okay,
muting
thank you
yourself?
very much.
I think so.
Yeah,
Christ.
pretty much.
I think
I'm
the
sober too.
the punishment
We
was
haven't
paid
for
finished
everybody.
yet. You've blown it.
I was going to say, I think the punishment's paying off dividends already. He's not muting himself, and he's not buying amiibos, and this is great.
Well, tomorrow is another day, as they say. Thank you, lads. Thank you very much, Connor, for that, and my inability to read out a letter, which is another disappointment from my perspective, but there you go. Thanks again, lads. Any last minute shout-outs now?
Right, June, yous have wanted it. Yous, Justin Smith. Yous have wanted it, so this month we're going to do Ride to Hell. There's been a few propaganda posters and a few tweets and stuff, but
Woohoo!
Ride to Hell's coming. So next month, or probably this month on Twitter maybe, depending on how bad it is and how I feel about it, hear my story of my trip to hell and back. We'll see how
Excellent.
that goes. So next month tune in to see how that handles, or check my Twitter out at any given time to see how that happens. So yeah,
Thank you.
redemption or revenge, who knows.
Or both. Connor, have you any last
No, I
thoughts
just
for tonight?
shout out to the crew from Joepad and me, who I'm going to now join as soon as I finished on this podcast and record the latest Jamcast. So you'll probably hear me talk a bit more in depth about Nom Nom Galaxy. So if people are interested and want to know a little bit more, you can go and have a listen to that. And congrats to Colm and Justin for reaching 100. It was a pleasure to be a guest on the episode 100 show. It was fantastic for Last Save Loaded. Thank you.
Matt, have you any last thoughts apart from your beers?
I'm going to run a competition this month.
Ooh.
As has been discussed, that I have a number of duplicate Steam codes. So the prize is going to be your choice of one of the many duplicate Steam codes. There's a free reign, there's a fair sheet. If you're not a PC games player, I will award a month of PSN or Xbox Live. Now the question is, I've appeared on a national TV show, quite famous one, and reviewed 2 games.
Really?
Yes, the first person that can tweet or email the show
I'm
with
looking
the 2
now.
games that I reviewed
Oh, fucking hell.
can win the prize.
That's a
bit vague,
fantastic
but
competition. That's brilliant.
It'll take some research.
I was going to say that's really vague, because are you able to Google your name to find the paper trail?
Don't
Or
give
is it
people
just-
hints. I'm looking.
I'm not going to say, but it was just...
Games
just-
Master.
Is it
I'm not saying...
is it on
anything.
YouTube?
Yes, there is YouTube clips.
Oh,
of
I'm
me.
looking now.
just
I'm trying to find them.
Oh,
Where the
lads.
hell are they?
So there we go. That's the
Brilliant.
competition. First person to reply.
And what
with
age
the-
are you? What age are you in it? Do you have hair?
I'm not going to say because it will give away perhaps what the show was.
Was it Gamesville?
Thumb
Saying
bandits.
nothing.
He's not saying.
Was it
Bad
Cybernet?
influence.
He's not saying.
But
Bad
you know,
influence.
I'm not. But I have been recognised in the street.
Was it this
How
morning?
have you kept this quiet? We have to come back
This
to
is
this
why
next
he's
month.
drinking now.
Sitting
He's
saying
hitting
he
a
doesn't know
low
what
point in
review
his
clock
life.
is up. And then he's putting this with the hat. Oh, fucking review.
I was doing it when I was a kid. It's a little hat for me.
It proper is
excellent.
my claim to fame.
Ah.
I'm
Excellent. Well
clutching
done.
at straws by saying that.
Well, I was in Games Master this month. If you buy this month's copy of Games Master, I'm in it. If that's...
What, as,
Yeah,
as a pull-out section?
Cool.
But you've all got piles of shame, so
I'm
I'm
a
not going to
centrefold.
tell you what you lot are ineligible. But for anyone else, if they can, to the show, tweet or email the 2 games that I reviewed, it should have been 3, but TV editors are bastards.
So there's cutting floor footage. There's actual footage on the cutting
yeah,
floor.
yeah, there proper is, and there's a couple of stories from the show.
Oh,
but yeah, the
fantastic.
first person to do that can win a month of online gaming or a Steam code.
Oh, I'm tuning in for next month's episode to hear what this is a story we need to hear.
Brilliant. Thank you, Matt. Saving the best to last, as usual. I look forward to next month hearing Matt and his drunken
Make
wares
sure Matt's
again
got plenty
and,
of beer next
finding
month as well.
Yeah, I'm making sure I'm stocking up for him, man. I'm sending him over a voucher. And because that was probably the best one yet. Well, apart from Stuart's last month, which
Hello?
probably will never be topped.
Colin
Never
muted
be
himself.
Oh, please
No, I have not muted
Oh, please
myself.
tell me he has.
No, I haven't. Feck off. Feck yes, I didn't mute myself. Okay,
Oh, so close. So close.
okay. Is that it, lads? Can we go now?
Are we going to
'Cause,
do the domestics?
Yeah, wrap up.
domestics, yes. Okay, wrap up. Okay, Stuart, where can everybody find you?
You can find me. You can find me in hell, riding to it. You can find me on the Console Ninjas. You can find me on the Twitters as Furious, and you can find me on the episode 100 Part 2, A Last Save Loaded, or the Justin and Justin show as we call it nowadays. So yeah, getting about it.
And Matt, where can they find you?
At math MAFF_G on Twitter. That's the normal place I hang out.
And Connor, because you're everywhere.
Yeah, I am at the moment.
It's actually just a group of the most popular people on the internet, isn't it? It's just fame. We are fame. We're gonna live forever.
You
We're
can
gonna reach for the stars. Fame.
Of course we are. I'm going to be dropping that one in.
You can find me on Twitter at VDJOMB. You can find me writing and podcasting for Joepad and me. And you can find me in part 1 of episode 100 of Last Save Loaded.
And on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Not yet. That's next week.
No, you're on the Scunthorpe Walk of Fame.
And you can find me in the usual places.
Under a bridge, on a bench.
Usually
You know the places.
in the fridge looking for
And a-
beers.
and-
Harassing some
Oh,
shady looking
last-
guy in an Irish pub who's offering to sell squid amoebas.
Or potatoes. Potato.
Would you like a potato?
And,
It's got an amiibo inside it. It's like a Kinder Egg, but a bit shitty.
Or you'll find me in the oven come next Sunday with the
Find you in the
amiibos.
oven? I didn't know we were putting you.
Yeah. I won't be able to live without it.
Oh, he'll gas himself.
So you find me at Last Save Loaded or at Solemn 67. And that's it, lads. Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure as always.
Catches.
Say goodbye, lads.
Hello.
Catch us later. See yous.
Bye bye.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with this call, because it keeps kind of drifting into being fine and then
Right.
dropping back out again.
Oh, that was a quick piss. Did you wash your hands?
No, I rubbed them all over my face.
Oh, you dirtbag. Oh, classic.
Fantastic.
I tell you. Brilliant. I like Matt when he's drunk.
That's how I met my wife.
Take no shit. Okay, take no shit, Matt. That's the one. Matthew, I can't find you on YouTube. Are you sure you're on YouTube?
Positive.
He's got a bookmark.
Okay,
and you
Matthew.
hey,
Matt,
I watch it once a night.
I was going to
before
say,
I go to bed.
see if they can find. There's a question.
I am somebody.
There's a question, right? See if they can find me. Would you be willing to give away another prize if they can find me on a famous BBC show?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's all coming out
But
now.
that's right.
Oh,
Seems he's
come on.
not getting it away, but let's just say me and somebody who's maybe got sugar on his name, best mates.
Alan Sugar, yeah.
Me and
Okay.
Lord Sugar.
Thank you, lads.
I would have been the apprentice. Trust me, YouTube it.
Okay. I will. I'm looking at it. I'm looking for it now. I'm looking for Matt first.
Well, YouTube apprentice Eurogamer.
Thank you.
You'll find me.
Cool. I did see a video of you before you were questioning.
Yeah, no, but I was actually on BBC in HD. I've been in HD. Have you?
There was no HD when Matt was around.
No, it was black and white.
Okay.
All the things
they didn't have HD when you were
when I was around.
All the things with Colm
Oh,
and all the
for
things
God's
we've said
sakes.
to him tonight. The one thing he gets pissed off at is the fact he wasn't in HD.